member of Team Swish Gaming, and here we go right away, right into the action. It would appear that we have Vale Griven versus Mia Schwartz. Mia looks like she is going to be on Enchantress, while Vale is on Naya Predator. And funny enough, I played against Vale last week and actually got crushed by this Naya Predator deck. I was playing Hammer, and Shadow Spear was not very good against Kavu Predator, turns out, which is going to be a staple in Vale's deck. So we're seeing a fetch here from Mia. Good start here for Vale. Just a good old turn 1 Ragavan, it looks like. Had to take a damage because Vale led on a Pain Land there. Mia appears to have fetched out a Temple Garden from what I am able to tell. So I assume a fetch shock down to 17 and probably either a Sprawl or the one that draws a card. Ooh, what is this? What is that? Is that a Paladin Glass? A little bit of glare on that card there, Danny. Quite a bit of glare. Okay. I think from what I saw it was a Paladin class, but I'm not certain. Okay, Ragavan not being very kind to Vale there, just kind of a garbage forest. Not going to do anything with that, but the treasure is nice. Okay, Prismatic Ending. Well, I believe it was a Paladin class, and it is out of here. Yep. Okay. Vale has a treasure to sack it off, I assume, for Predator. Yep, there's Predator. There it is. Yep, Mia gonna take a read. Take a read. Kavu Predator can do some nasty stuff. So for those that don't know, whenever you gain life, whenever your opponent gains life, Predator gets that many Predators on it. So or that many counters on it. Goodness gracious, not Predators. But it gets that many counters on it. And so basically, you have some cards in your deck, Fiery Justice being one of them, that can deal a ton of damage. I believe it's 5 damage divided as you choose for 3 mana, but then your opponent gains 5 life. Well, with Kavu Predator, you just put 5 counters on it. And then it also has really good synergy with cards like Solitude. A Sterling Grove? Can't quite tell. Not quite tell, but I believe that's a Sterling Grove there. It might have been a Sithis as well. Grove. It is indeed a Sterling Grove for those watching. Sorry about some of this glare. We're definitely good on Vale's side of the table, but on Mia's, something that could be maybe adjust. Thank you, Danny, trying to adjust it. Still not great. Glare is still pretty bad. Maybe we'll just have to deal with it. Oh, okay, that's getting better, Danny. That's pretty good. We might have to do it like this. Good, Danny. Thank you. Okay. So, Vale deploying a Tarmogoyf, deploying an Esper Sentinel. I believe that's all that happened there. Mia needs a way to draw cards. Enchantress needs a card draw effect. We need either an Enchantress's Presence here or a Sithis. And then we're going to need to set up a Solitary Confinement because Vale is going out of control here. Uh-oh. Oh, that's a... Okay, Destiny Spinner. That doesn't seem very good at all. And a missed land drop. Goodness gracious. Mia has had a just completely awful hand here, if I'm being blunt. This is not what you want as the Enchantress player. Vale just slamming in. Just no mercy. If I'm Mia here, I think I block the Ragavan, but Vale could easily have another Ragavan in hand. But I just don't think you can continue to let Vale build up all these treasures. I don't know. Maybe you block the Esper Sentinel. There's some merit to that, but that's going to grow the Goyf heavily. The Esper Sentinel is a huge issue, though, because it's going to draw Vale tons of cards, because Enchantress is a deck filled with non-creature spells, so Esper Sentinel just getting to go go haywire and draw a bunch of cards is not going to be good for Mia. It's not what you want. So Mia's going to have to really, really contemplate what to do here. And also, I mean, you could block the Predator here, but doesn't seem particularly good either. 1, 2, 3. How big is this Goyf? We got 1, 2, just 2 right now? Just sorcery. Okay, just sorcery land at the moment. So that's the block from Mia. Veil thinking. Now I know Veil plays copies of like Boros Charm and things in this deck. Yep. Is this a, what is this, a Boros Charm? Yeah, that card is really good in this deck. When you make a massive Kavu, Kavu has trample, by the way, as well. I don't know that I mentioned that earlier. So Veil's just going to trade in the Boros Charm there. Seems fine for Veil. Gets an instant in there for Goyf as well. Okay. I'm a little surprised Veil didn't just go 4 upstairs, but probably won't matter. Okay, so 2 mana. Alright, well, Tarmogoyf doesn't do anything. Esper Sentinel, though, draws a card. Yeah, Goyf's going to be terrible now, but the problem here is the Esper Sentinel's drew Veil card. Mia is going to 2, and is just really dead to anything of relevance at all. A Dash Ragavan, any Boros Charm, Bolt Effect. I believe Veil is also on Bolt, if I remember correctly. Certainly Lightning Helix is in the deck. Maybe no Bolts, but definitely Helixes. Alright, Mia's down to 2. Can she find a way to get out of this game 1? It's going to be very difficult. A really not very good hand for Mia this game. Yeah. Okay. Well, that could be relevant, but alright. Now Veil's Solitudes are pretty much turned on now, too, because if you give... Oh, man. The Grove there is nasty, because that's going to gain life, put a counter on the Kavu Predator, and now that can send in for 3, which is just lethal all on its own. So that means Veil gets to send both, and at minimum, put me at a 1. What's coming next? What is this? Is that the Fiery Justice? I believe that's Fiery Justice. Yes, it is. Uh-huh. Mia picks them up. At this point, it'd be Mia's just probably unfamiliar with that, and there's nothing wrong with being unfamiliar with that. The only reason I know what that combo does is I saw it in Modern years ago. You don't really see it anymore. It's very interesting that Veil's playing this deck. But I think it has some merits to it, and right there, you know... Now, to be fair, in that game, Mia definitely kept kind of a weaker Enchantress hand and got ran over, so being on the draw did not help Mia either, but missing the lands was just too detrimental to overcome. We'll see if Mia can have a more functional draw in game 2. So, as our players shuffle up here, I would say that Veil may be a little favored in the matchup, just because Veil is very good at being very low to the ground and also has some really good removal. Veil also has copies of Force of Negate, or not Force of Negation, but Force of Vigor in the sideboard. I played against, like I said, I was playing Hammer last week against Veil, and Force of Vigor was very annoying. Solitude was very annoying too, especially with Kavu Predator. Just making huge constructs to just grow Predator infinitely was very bad. Like I said, Shadow Spear was incredibly awkward in the matchup.
This isn't on me now, bud.
It's really a very cool deck. I think it has some amount of game. It felt pretty good against Hammer, but we'll see how good it is against Enchantress post board, and we'll see if Mia can keep a more functional hand this time. It really did almost nothing in that first game, just not nearly enough. Just playing Destiny Spinners is not what you want to be doing in Modern. Just playing 2 mana 2/3s. Not ideal. All right, they're both shuffling up here. And they continue to shuffle up. Want to make sure those decks are nice and randomized for game 2. I'm curious what cards came in from Mia's end. Maybe some good removal, like more copies of like On Thin Ice, stuff like that. I don't know how many Enchantress main decks these days, but maybe Baffling End if that's an option. Journey to Nowhere is probably better than Baffling End, so that would probably be the one if you have more creature removal in your board. Journey would certainly be a good one. Mia's gonna say no thank you to this 7, so it's gonna go down to 6. Not a great start, but Enchantress can recover from mulligans fairly well with cards like Sithis and Enchantress's presence, so and back to shuffling. Vale, it would appear, kept 7, which I can't imagine spells great news for Mia. Zach, my testing went pretty well, and Zach also, we have your cards. I brought your cards, but it looks like you're not here this evening. So I brought the cards, but we'll have to get those to you another time. But the testing went pretty well, Zach. Finished 6 and 4, went 2 and 3 in that first league, and then 4-1 the second one, which was pretty good. So not too shabby, as I would say. Okay, looks like Abundant Growth. Draw a card. Now that forest taps for any color, which is pretty good. Pretty good. And actually here, what I'll do, Danny and Zach, is I'll pull up the stream on my phone, but I'll mute it so I can also see chat. Probably seems like a good idea. So I'm going to do that in a moment. There's another, so turn 1 Ragavan again from Vale. Mia, I would hope, is prepared for this time. You need an answer. We need an answer to Ragavan. We can't just get Ragavan out of the game again. That'd be very unfortunate for Mia. I'm starting to feel like Mia might not have an answer, which is not good. This is not good. This is not. That doesn't even block Ragavan. If you could. This is not good at all. Vale's licking chops here. Yep, Solitude. Now I don't understand this timing personally. That's not a good time to Solitude. At least draw your card. At least draw your card, get more information, but probably not going to punish Vale, I don't think, because Ragavan's about to start doing its thing. Ragavan, boom. Hits a land, which is not really what Vale wants, but who cares? Lotus Petal's good enough. Lotus Petal is probably good enough. So Vale, I'm going to do some fetching. See what they grab here. Try pulling up Twitch chat as this fetch is going on here. All right. I believe I am in now. Okay, so yeah, Vale just going off. I mean, this is just Bauble, Trigger. What an interesting deck. Very interesting deck, this Kavu pile that Vale has constructed. Okay, Mia needs something good here. Needs something good. Okay. Mia contemplating what to do here. And here comes a Sithis. Okay, I love this. Now we need an on thin ice. Oh. Yikes. That is not at all what we wanted to see. Just Sithis go. Alright, well. Vale definitely has another Darcy in hand. Question's going to be, what else do they have? What else does Vale have here? A force. Yikes. Yikes. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, this is just terrible news for Mia. We're watching Enchantress just get hammered right now. Oh boy, yep, there's the Enchantress's presence. It's not one, I guess it's not really one Mia wanted to draw right now. Cycling cast out. Yikes. Boy, oh boy, this is not a good position here. But if there's any silver lining for Mia, it's that Vale only has one card in hand. So, is Vale delirious? You've got instant, land, artifact. That's okay. That's a Sterling Grove paying the tax to the Sentinel there. I like paying the tax. We can't give Vale more cards. That'd be a nightmare. Complete nightmare. Be very not good. All right, sounds good, BJ. We can do that at some point, man. I'd be down. I'd be down with some 1v1 testing. We could do it on stream too. I don't really care. So that's up to you. If you'd prefer to do it off stream, we can do it off stream. We can do it on stream. Whatever. Absolutely not against doing 1v1. Okay. You let me know when you want to play, and we can figure that out and arrange that. But I'm down. Okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'll have to hit you up on Discord. Sorry I haven't gotten to that yet. It's been a pretty busy day. Oh, All right, this is not... This is really weird. Did we miss an Esper Sentinel trigger there or what? I'm confused at multiple things that just happened. I think we missed an Esper Sentinel trigger. And I guess Mia is just going to have to pitch a card, and Solitary Confinement's going to make it so she can't take any damage, which is awesome, but the problem is there's no way to draw cards. You lose your draw step, and Mia does not have any of the Enchantress, like Enchantress's Presence or Sithis, and unless it's Sithis plus a 1-drop enchantment here, she's not going to be able to establish anything. Is she just going to sack the Confinement off? What is this? Discard. Okay. All right. Do we have the one? Okay. This is kind of what Mia needed. All right. I like this. And now Mia's going to have the option to either sack the Confinement or discard this last card. So Mia might actually have a chance, which is awesome. Things looked very bleak a moment ago, but all of a sudden, Mia has some life. Okay. Are we discarding or are we getting rid of Solitary, Mia? Okay, Solitary bye-bye, which means Mia has an enchantment in hand that they want to play. Okay. What are we doing, Mia? Okay, playing land. Fetching to thin, probably. We need like an Enchantress's Presence right now. Another Solitary would be okay, just like gain a life, stall a turn, sack it again. Enchantress's Presence and try and like start going off would be kind of cool too, but I don't know that Mia's going to survive without another Solitary, so Mia might just need to play another Solitary here and then hope to peel Another really good enchantment. Tough position here for Mia. This last card has to be a real doozy. And it might be, but we'll see what happens. I mean, Vale's got 2 3/3 DRCs on the other side of the board that are just... What is this? What is... Okay, so Mia putting that on top. The on thin ice. So that leads me to believe that Mia certainly has an enchantment here to cast, to then draw into the on thin ice, to then hit the Kavu, which will definitely keep her in this game. Okay, 2 mana. Confinement, you should pay. Mia should have paid this. I don't like this. I don't like giving the Sentinel a card there. So we had the mana. We had the mana to pay. Could have floated a white and a green. Yeah, we got to hit the Kavu. 11 life. Yep. Vale being up card's a little awkward. Maybe the mana... I mean, maybe Mia knows that she's going to draw like a 1-drop or something. I don't know, but I really... Yeah, Vale just got a card that they should not have gotten. That was a mana that didn't even get used. It's not very... Not great. Now, if you're Vale here, I think you just slam everybody. Depending on what the draw is, though. Okay. Is Vale flooding? Vale might be flooding pretty badly here. Vale is sending everything, and if you're Mia, you just gotta block the Esper Sentinel here. Just easy, eat that, get that off the board, go to 3. You just have to have the Sithis to win the game. You cannot lose this Sithis. You just gotta hope that Vale doesn't have a Helix. I mean, if Vale had a Helix, it's very likely Vale would have Helixed the Sithis anyway. So, nope, this is not. Maybe Mia has another... The only way that makes any sense at all is another Sithis in hand. But I still don't like the play, because if we have another Sithis in hand, I'd rather just cycle that Sithis and gain a life for a new card. Oh, there's the charm anyway. Well, Mia is swiftly taken down by Vale's Naya Predator deck. Very, very strong deck. I struggled with it myself last week when I was playing Hammer. To be fair, game 1 I mulliganed to 4, so that did not do me any favors, but sometimes you mulligan to 4 in Hammer, I guess. That happened to my last opponent today on Moto when I was doing our Swish stream from 11 to 4. We do that every day. I've been doing Modern this week because I'm playing the NRG this weekend, and I'm in the Modern seat, the team event, so I've been testing that. But that was rough. Naya Predator doing some good work there. Very, very strong start here tonight for Vale again. They beat me round 1 last week, so right back to it with a 1-0 start. Mia gonna be looking to recover and try and pick things back up from here. 0-1's not where you want to start, but 3-1 still likely will be able to prize at a 34-player event with payout to top 10. So Mia's just gonna have to turn things around. Kind of an awkward deck to play against round 1. Certainly not a meta deck, not something you're expecting to play against. So we'll see what happens. And now they're just going over some sideboard stuff here. Mia, I definitely agree with cutting Paladin class. The card doesn't do anything in this matchup. Rest in Peace, I don't like cutting. Rest in Peace should have stayed in. It stops Delirium on Dragon Rage Channeler, and it makes Goyf just absolute garbage. So I feel like Rest certainly should have stayed in. Rip should have been in the deck. But I definitely like cutting the Paladin class. Paladin class is for blue decks. Vale is not a blue deck, so very disinterested in that. But, all right, folks. I think with that, we are going to put an end here to our round 1 coverage. And I will be back for round 2 in approximately probably 15 to 20 minutes. So if you would like to join us for round 2, I will see you then. Alrighty. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here for round 2 of our Monday Night Modern here at Galactic Toys and Games. Round 1, we saw Vale Gribben take down Mia Schwartz. Mia Schwartz was on the Enchantress deck. Vale was on Naya Predator. Naya Predator won 2-0, and in really quite convincing fashion. Mia did not really function in games 1 or 2 the way that Enchantress kind of wants to function, and just kind of got beat pretty badly. And now coming into round 2, we are going to give you another sweet matchup. I will let you know what that is as soon as it is posted down in the corners there. Ooh, one of our players here was missing a card, so thank goodness the judge said something, and they were able to get that back. It looks like we've got, on one end, it looks like Lantern Control. We've got an Ensnaring Bridge, we've got Thoughtseize, we've got Spire of Industry, yeah, Codex Shredder. We've got Lantern Control on one side here. On the right side of the screen, we've got Lantern Control. And then on the other side here, we'll have to see what we got. I'm not quite able to see cards in that deck. All right. Do we have any companions? Would not appear so. Okay. Scotty Bush on Lantern Control, and then Odin on Esper Reanimator. So that's going to be the matchup here. This should be pretty interesting. Pretty good against Esper Reanimator, honestly. Probably has a main deck Grafdigger's Cage to go tutor up. Should be awesome. Yep, there's turn 1 Urza Saga, Pithing Needle. Yep, you gotta respond. Good job, Odin, there. Good catch. Scotty just immediately establishing this Urza Saga to go get a 1-drop artifact, which, if Scotty is aware of what Odin is playing, he's probably going to go get a Grafdigger's Cage. It'd be a pretty good one. But if Scotty doesn't care about getting the cage, he may go get just a lantern or something of that nature. Kind of cool that Saga can just go get your namesake card. Yet another deck where Urza Saga, just really an incredible add. All right, Odin, turn 2. What do they got going on here? Land, shock. Is that a Faithful Mending? I believe it is. Faithful Mending, gain 2 life. Draw 2, discard 2. Has flashback 3 if it ends up being relevant later. Okay. Scotty here, taking that up to 2, playing a Lantern of Insight. Both players reveal the top. Scotty's going to play another land, I'd imagine. There it is. Blooming Marsh. Yes, the Kodak Shredder. And Scotty says, you may have a land, Odin. Ooh, there's a Teferi for Odin. That's kind of cool. All right. Well, Odin needs to do something good here. Otherwise, Scotty's going to go establish a Grafdigger's Cage, I'd imagine, which should be quite good. Yep, is this going to be a persist? Are we persisting back something cool? We might be. Oh, yeah, that's a persist. Getting back. Ooh, Mole Drifter. Nice. Let's draw 2 cards. In for that. Now, okay, we should they both should have been revealed, correct? Or is that not? I guess that's not how that works because the trigger resolves. So one of them's hidden, but that one needs to be revealed. Okay. I figured it out myself. Okay. What is this? Is that a prismatic ending? I believe it was. Persist. Another persist on top. Pretty gas. Some gasoline. All right, Scotty. We got a float of mana here. Float your mana now. There it is. There it is. I assume we're getting a Grafdigger's Cage if there's one in the deck. Ending on Shredder. Yes. Lantern Control in 2021 for sure. Pizza 1989. Look, Mason, he's just trying to have a good time, dude. He's just trying to have a good time. I'd play some Lantern Control. This is awesome. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern. That is not a Grafdigger's Cage at all. That is not great. Oh, fair enough, Gavin. All right, cool, man. Good to see you, dude. How are you doing today? Scotty's probably fine with just letting his opponent draw the persist here. Persist, you can just prevent the persist from doing much. You have a lantern in play. Should be pretty good. I think that's an Unburial Rights, which is also going to be a terrible card here. Okay. Okie dokie. Odin thinking about what to do here. We had 34 tonight, Gavin. 34. Cut to top 10. Round 1, we got to see another blast from the past. Kavu Predator, Naya Predator got a victory in round 1.
It's like watching 2016, 2017 Magic all over again. It's wonderful.
And here we are in round 2. Okay, so there's Teferi. I'm going to be honest, I almost would have liked Teferi unsummon Mole Drifter after attacking, but maybe that's not the right game plan here. I don't know.
I could see it, but also
we'll see what happens.
With what's in Scotty's hand and what could be potentially going on, it might not be the right play.
Scotty playing the Glimmer Void. Okay. Scotty needs a little more action than what he has right now. There's not a ton going on that's very exciting. We need, okay, what's this, a bridge? Establishing ensnaring bridge. We are indeed establishing ensnaring bridge. So, it looks like Scotty has 2 cards in hand, so he's not going to be getting punched here, as far as I can tell, which is pretty good for him. Odin, going to just cast a Grief. I think we got to take... Ooh, that's a tough call. Interesting. I don't know if I like taking the stirrings there, to be honest. Kind of like taking the thing that lets Scotty control the top of the deck.
I agree.
Kind of an awkward position now for Odin because Scotty's going to do the lantern control thing, and the lantern control thing is just sit here and mill any card that's relevant.
Mason joined you on the commentary.
I can't hear him. How do I hear him? No, Mason, I cannot. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, it's because you're just.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, Mason. Can you hear me? There we go. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Just home from work. Unfortunately, was not able to make it to Modern, but watching it and commentating for it is good enough for me.
Sweet, man. Glad to have you. For those listening, Mason is another fellow member of Team Swish, and he's going to be joining me here on some of this Magic commentary. And Mason, you had our Runeterra, right?
Yes. Runeterra, I've been doing a bit for. Unfortunately, my computer is just not able to stream it, so I can't really put out content for it.
Okay.
But I have a article that's going to be going up on the Swish webpage pretty soon here. Just a quick how to get into the game and all that fun stuff. So
Sure.
if you're ever interested in Runeterra, let me know and I'll get people started.
Sounds awesome, man. Very cool. All right, so Scotty, I like this ending. Now, I definitely do not like letting Odin draw a Muldrifter. I don't understand why we're letting. I don't understand what in the world we're letting him draw a Muldrifter for.
I agree.
Yeah, that was not a very good play from Scotty there. Not heads up in my opinion.
I agree.
I was about this. Scotty's able to be attacked right now as well. Does he have 3 cards in hand? Isn't there a bridge or no? No, there's a bridge.
There's a bridge in play, and he has what looks to be 1 card. So I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, how did that attack happen, Danny? Did somebody miss something here?
I don't
understand how a Muldrifter attacked. So hopefully Danny can get that corrected. I don't think that was a legal play. Unless I'm missing something. Elvis all day. Wish you had your Modern deck. Yeah, dude. Modern's a lot of fun, man. Modern's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you.
Oh, persist. It's a 1/1.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I understand now. And is that another persist on a Muldrifter here? Looks like it was.
I mean,
now technically these cards under the Pixis should actually be face up because there's a lantern in play. Typically I believe how you handle that is they just all are revealed.
Yeah, because you get to see them no matter what anyways, but
exactly. Yep.
I mean, they're most likely not coming back, so
yeah, it probably won't be relevant, but there are games where it does. There they go.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, it's very beneficial for Scotty to at least know because he can use that to his advantage at some point.
To know exactly how many are left in the deck and all that fun stuff.
Yep, and to just if he did want to use the Pixis, he would know what he's getting back from it, which is kind of cool. All right.
Drawing another Pixis as a Spire of Industry on top.
Andrew wants to know who put this garbage on stream. Well, yeah, blame the judge? Sure, yeah, maybe the judge said he wanted these on stream. To be fair, Lantern Control is straight fire. If you don't love watching some Lantern Control, you're not a real Magic player, man. This deck is a riot. Straight riot. I'm kind of kidding. It's a very miserable play experience when you're playing against it, but
I mean, at the very least, it is slightly better now than it was about 5 years ago.
Yep.
But still not the greatest.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing with Lantern Control is if the player's experienced, at this point the game just becomes it just kind of goes into garbage time. I mean, it's pretty easy to manage from here. But Scotty, so far, I'm not sure how experienced with the deck he is, with like the Pixis not being face up was kind of a signal that he might not be the most experienced with the deck.
As far as I know, sorry, As far as
Oh,
I
go ahead, man.
know,
Go ahead.
Scotty has, I think, played maybe one match of Lantern Control ever in his life. So
Yikes. Okay, well, okay, fair enough. Scotty's just having fun, man. He showed up with Dredge a few weeks ago, too.
he showed up. Oh, he had Dredge. He had a blue red control deck for a bit. Last week, Friday, he had some other deck that I don't remember offhand, but
Okay. Well, time for Scotty to get that last artifact into play. Okay. So now he's not going to be getting punched for any damage, regardless of how big the Mole Drifters are. The problem with Odin is, like, this Esper Reanimator deck, man, it doesn't do a whole lot to beat Lantern Control in game one, I don't think. And now he should reveal the top. We need the top card revealed before anything else happens. Okay.
yep. Unmarked Grave on top.
Seems awful.
Yep, seems
awful.
pretty bad.
Yeah, this is not the kind of deck you want to play against Lantern Control.
No.
You need to reveal that top card again. Odin needs to reveal the top card, please. Odin, we need to see the top card. There's a lantern in play. Thank you.
Thank you, Scotty.
Scotty picking it up. Nope, we can't send those anymore, Odin.
Nope.
There's no more attacking for you. Ensnaring Bridge.
Casting a Persist.
Persist. What does he have in the graveyard? Does Odin even have anything of relevance?
I don't think so.
I know there's a Solitude. I mean, if he buys back the one dragon, the dragon doesn't really do anything. It just like drains or whatever. If I'm Scotty, I wouldn't have even.
Yeah, you just save that unless there's something you're really scared of in graveyard.
Yeah, I literally think Faithful Mending is one of the more important cards right now. But it doesn't really matter what Scotty does at this point. It's going to be really hard to lose this game. Is that an Ephemerate? I think it is.
I think so.
Okay,
Land on top.
They won't care very much about that.
Yeah, go ahead and draw that.
Okay. And like I said, at this point, we're kind of to garbage time. I mean, Scotty's hell-bent for the rest of the game, and now he has triple mill every turn. He can really just control Odin's draw step. That's what Lantern Control does. When you say Lantern Control, you basically mean draw step control, because that's what this deck really does. It just controls. It's the ironic. You can't thought seize the top of the deck. Well, all this deck does is thought seize the top.
Yes. It is essentially just problem permanent and draw step control. That's all you need, honestly.
Yeah, it's a really cool deck, honestly. Lantern Control, there's really no deck quite like it. There's no deck other than this deck that really does that can control the draw step. It's a very interesting. The guy who came up with this deck was really going outside the box. I've always thought Lantern was really interesting.
It's an interesting deck. It's unfortunate that it is such a slow deck to play because it does have some very cool play patterns to it.
Oh yeah, and again, one of those things is just Scotty's a little inexperienced with the deck, so he's going to be a little slower with it. But the really experienced Lantern players, I mean, at this point, they're gonna know how to mill you out. And also, a thing about competitive Lantern playing too is game one, if your opponent doesn't want to scoop to you, as long as you're not advertently slow playing, you can use the time to your advantage a little bit too, because
exactly what they're running.
Yeah, exactly. At FNM, you're probably not going to abuse that too much, but if your opponent's going to let you sit there and just win the game in 45 minutes, then you'll take it and you'll win the match 1-0. So
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of on the opponent at this point to kind of see the writing on the wall maybe and concede as well. Why are we sacking? Is there another Lantern?
It feels like Scotty just might be in the spot where he just wants to take game actions when he doesn't really need to.
Yeah, I don't. What is that on top? The players seem to be responding like it's something good. It's a land.
The fairy on top. Okay.
And this fairy really doesn't do much of anything. It's a delta, okay. Danny
Oh, that makes sense.
saying it's a delta. Flashing back, is that a faithless mending? Okay. Faithful mending, I say.
Another unmarked grave.
Yeah. Yeah, top card. Is that grief? It's another grief. It doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what we're going to come down to at this point. It's just Odin's cards just don't really do anything. I mean, if you can't answer these bridges, you can't win this game. Now, Odin is playing some number of prismatic endings, but Odin spewed them off early on things that very likely should not have been. Hitting a shredder early on was probably not the best idea from Odin.
Yeah, no, you don't need to get rid of those kind of cards because, in all actuality, while they do eventually kill you, they're not the reason why you're losing the match.
Right.
The reason
And
why you're losing is
Snaring
because of Snaring Bridge.
Yeah, exactly. And Snaring Bridge is the card that you really need to watch out for in these decks, because if you can't answer a bridge, you're going to lose to it.
Because as far as I know, like Lantern Control does not have any actual like threats aside from their actual mill strategy.
Yep, and now they have Urza Saga tokens, I guess, but that's not really that relevant.
Yeah, it's really
sometimes they usually board into a Tezzeret Agent of Bolas or two, maybe a Jace the Mind Sculptor or two. They can play cards like that pretty easily, and they're happy to play those cards because you can protect those with Ensnaring Bridge as well. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I feel like Scotty is firmly in the driver's seat in this game, though.
Absolutely.
Okay, Scotty doing a baubles. We're gonna. I don't love the blind pick. I guess he knew his opponent's card, so sure. He needs to draw 2 cards. What did we hit here? Okay.
Land. Codex Shredder. Okay.
I don't understand why we sacked off that Lantern a while ago. It's probably not going to matter, but it was still not a good decision from Scotty. All right, Ephemerate coming back, blinking this, doing some draining. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Scotty could get drained out by this dragon. He's down to 6. And all of a sudden, if Odin can just draw 1 Ephemerate, that's literally going to kill him if he can't do this dragon. Or if Odin can just hard cast a couple more of these dragons. So Scotty's kind of put himself in a dangerous position right now. This is not a lock by any means. It looked like it may have been a lock some time ago, but
that Lantern sack was very much. It could have been the nail in the coffin for Scotty.
Oh boy! And there's another dragon, folks. So if we get one more Ephemerate or dragon, this game is going to end, and Odin is going to win, despite Scotty really setting up what seemed to be a hard lock, but clearly not a hard lock. And like we've talked about a couple times, the Ephemerate the Lantern being sacked off, really kind of awkward. And I think Scotty misevaluated what cards mattered and what cards didn't potentially. Ooh, I think that's an Ephemerate if I'm seeing that right. So that's big. Okay,
that's
there's a plains. Yeah, Scotty's gonna really wish he still had that Lantern of Insight though. He's missing some insight that he would like to have. Okay, what is Scotty gonna do now? 1 mana.
He has to cast the card in his hand.
Yes. Otherwise, he gets domed for 2. Oh, a Shadow Sphere. Doesn't really do anything. I don't like that card in Lantern at all. I know you're playing constructs, but that's not how you really want to win.
No, like I get it as maybe a piece of sideboard tech, but like if you're in a very aggro matchup and that's how you're getting out of it, but like aside from that, I do not think it's a good main board card.
No, it seems really weak. Really weak. Imagine if that just would have been a Grafdigger's Cage that he could have gotten.
Yeah, it's like
Grafdigger's Cage
game's over.
Cage would have been insane because the mendings wouldn't have been able to be flashed back, which were pretty annoying cards for Scotty to have to deal with. But nonetheless, here we are. It's hard to tell exactly how many cards are left in Odin's deck. I'd imagine it's 10 or less at this point.
Yeah, it's what it's looking like.
And Scotty can get 3 of them. So, what is this? Amending?
Unmarked grave.
Unmarked grave. Is there a dragon in there? Okay. Solitude. Okay.
Grief. Okay.
Scotty, what is happening? Is there a dragon in there? If there's a dragon, this game is over.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Unmarked grave puts one into your graveyard, right? You go get a creature and put it in your yard.
Yeah.
And then persist would buy it back if he has a persist.
Yes, which he most likely does at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Scotty may lose this game from what seemed to be.
Fail to find.
Oh, yikes. No creatures left in deck. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Alright. It's a fairy. Casting a fairy. Do we have enough mana to cast Arkans? If we do, we should just... Oh, hold on. Hold on, though. You can bounce a card back to Scotty's hand. Yeah, okay.
And attack.
Attack for 2. Put him to 1.
Put him to 1.
Okay. Okay, and that's a 3... Imagine if Scotty draws another bridge, he's going to lose the game. If he draws a 3-mana card that he can't cast, that's scary for Scotty. He's going to... If his opponent can deal with this other bridge, he'll lose that way, too.
Yeah.
Again, we're just going to go back to the fact that there's no Lantern of Insight. Scotty has no idea what is on top of either player's deck. It is completely random. So he's really just, no matter what he does, it's just complete RNG at this point. Are you going to die to the top of Odin's deck? And Scotty should not have put himself in this position.
No, he had the game locked.
Okay, now he can get a link. See, he shouldn't have Pixis. If this was the plan, we shouldn't have Pixis yet. There's no reason to do that. That's a Glacial Fortress. You gotta let him draw that.
Yeah, you let him draw that.
Okay. Odin has the ending. The game ends
my God.
with Lantern Control losing from a seemingly unlosable position. Scotty throwing lanterns into the graveyard left and right, really just costing him dearly. And you hate to see it unless you hate Lantern players, which some of you might. So maybe you love to see it. But either way, that was really poor Lantern piloting, unfortunately from Scotty there. And we're allowed to get a little intense with Scotty because he's a Team Swish member.
He is a Team Swish member. He's also one of my best friends. He kind of threw it all away there.
He did. That was not a great game from him, but Scotty seems to be a pretty chill dude, and I think he'll look back at this stream at some point and probably laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. So
we can see
it's a good learning experience for Scotty though. If he hasn't played much Lantern Control, almost the only time you sack Lantern is when you absolutely have to sack Lantern.
Exactly.
You let your opponent draw that top card. But other than that, you never sack that card because it literally allows you to control the draw step. That's the whole design of this deck is see what your opponent can draw, and if it's good, you mill it, or in the case of Pixis, you exile it, and if it's bad, then you let him have it. And then you can also control the top of your deck as well in a similar fashion.
Exactly. We'll say I think this does still lean in Scotty's favor, just because getting those Leyline of the Voids, he has a full 4 of the Leyline of the Void that he put in from his sideboard, and that just keeping the 1 even if the rest of the hand is bad, that will just really throw a wrench into this Esper Reanimator plan.
That is true. I'll tell you what's awkward though, Mason, is that game had to have taken about 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And we talked about clock earlier. And when you lose game one with Lantern Control, that is really not good. You really need to pick up the pace in games 2 and 3 because you have to win 2 games with Lantern Control, which is not typically an easy thing to do.
No.
Especially when you don't have many reps with the deck. So we'll have to see if Scotty can take care of business. Things not looking great for our fellow Swish member after game 1. Now they quickly go to game 2 here, already done with their sideboarding and shuffling and all that. So here we go. Scotty mulliganing. He had a Lantern. Maybe he didn't have other good stuff. I don't know.
I think he's looking to have that ley line in the opening hand.
See, yeah, that's true. Maybe he is. It's interesting though. Does he need to do that? I don't know that he needs to do that. I don't
think he does. To be fully honest, looking at this hand that he's got.
This hand looks good. We've got a Thoughtseize. We've got a Shredder. I think there's a Jace.
And he throws it away. All right.
Yeah. And so this is honestly growing pains, right? This is somebody who hasn't played Lantern Control, definitely misevaluating some things, I think. So we'll see what happens here. So Scotty down to 5.
So he's got 2 Leyline of the Voids in his hand.
Okay, you should get rid of one of them, I think.
I agree. He's putting okay. So
he's deciding what 5 he wants. Is he keeping 2 Leylines?
I mean, I understand it just because of the Teferi situation. But even then, you're a deck that can make double black mana fairly easily.
Yeah, oh yeah. And your opponent can't ending a Leyline either. Maybe that's part of the reason to... I don't know. The Shredder's Gas, the Bauble is pretty sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he should Bauble his opponent to see... I guess he doesn't know what... Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't know what his opponent needs and doesn't need, so maybe you wait on the Bauble Shredder play. There's an ending on
to the Shredder.
Okay, we should bauble somewhere. Scotty should either bauble him. I think he should bauble himself, and if it's a non-land, he should bin it with Shredder.
Agreed.
That would be a good line here from Scotty. Look at the top of your deck. You need to find a land drop. So try and set that up, bauble yourself, and then if you don't like it, you Shredder yourself.
And he's just Shreddering. Okay.
Yep. This is just somebody who's inexperienced with this deck. I mean, maybe I'll have to do a league on Moto of Lantern Control for our good friend Scotty here. Now the problem is that is a horrible. I'm not the best with Moto controls, and that is an awful.
Oh, that is like I would love to play Lantern Control again at some point in paper, but playing it on Moto, just please no.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, I'm probably gonna time out for sure. All right, another Leyline on top of Scotty's deck. Huge yikes, man. Huge yikes. Ugh. Gross.
See, this is why I think having that second Leyline, it's questionable.
It is indeed questionable. Now, I don't know what he bottomed, but yeah, it's rough. It is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Tap land, go. Well, Scotty's Leylines are doing some good work at least. What is that? I can't tell what that is. Is that an Inquisition?
I think it's an Inquisition. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that is, I guess, what it looks like. All right, floating a mana. We got to get a Pixis. I would get a Pixis here.
Yeah, Pixis or Coat.
If your opponent ever gets the Leylines off the board, we still have the Exile artifact, which seems nice. And
Pithing Needle?
I don't like this.
I don't either.
Yeah, that's not what we're supposed to get. This should have absolutely been a way to mill our opponent in Codex. It should have been Codex or Pixis.
Yeah.
But here we are.
I want to know what he named with it.
He probably named Teferi. He probably named Teferi.
Yeah. So at this point, he's pretty extremely safe from losing his ley lines, which is good. But
yes, it is, and maybe that will just be good enough. The problem, though, is Odin is eventually just going to draw lands and start slamming huge idiots.
Yes.
So you do. Scotty needs to like do something. I mean,
He needs an ensnaring bridge like yesterday.
a bridge, or again, he's about to draw an ancient stirrings, so that could maybe hit a shredder, a Pixis, or something. Okay.
Ending on the pithing needle. All right.
Yeah, yeah, pretty good.
It's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Exile that. Yep. Okay. All right, Scotty. What are we gonna stir into? You can always stir into a land. All right, there's a Pixis.
Fix this pretty good.
Yeah, he's gonna stir. All right, there is a land. All right, top card is a Thoughtseize, which is not going to be very good.
Yeah, it's not helpful at this point. Getting a concealed courtyard.
Right.
I can understand getting the land, but honestly, I think you still take the Pixis, and I think you fire off the Ancient Stirrings the next turn.
Yep. I think I agree with you, Mason. I think if he would have waited, he could have drawn the Pixis, cast the Ancient Stirrings, then gotten the land, and then played the Pixis.
Yes.
These are all they're pretty intricate lines. They're not easy to see if you don't play Lantern, but it sounds like you definitely are aware of what Lantern's doing. I've played against Lantern, and I've even played Lantern a few times, but I played against it a lot. I played against it at plenty of competitive events.
I've played against it quite a bit, so I know a lot of the lines that they try to go for. But
yeah. But it's not intuitive to like wait a turn on Ancient Stirrings, because how often does like a deck like Tron wait to cast Ancient Stirrings?
Very, very rarely.
So it's just kind of one of those things where you're playing a very different style deck. Well, that's going to be a really good draw.
Let's fire
this Thoughtseize. We need to fire this Thoughtseize. Here it comes. All right, what does his opponent have? So Unmarked Grave doesn't do anything. I would get rid of another Teferi here.
Double Teferi?
See, I would have gotten rid of another Teferi. These Teferis are going to be really annoying to play through.
Yes. Just the sheer drawing a free card is brutal on Lantern control.
That is a huge deal. Huge deal. Yeah, Scotty's in really big trouble right now. All this Teferi stuff is just going to get really, really gross. Yeah, see you later, Leyline. And now Odin is free of Leyline's treachery. Now, that Teferi, though, should be in exile. The one in the graveyard should be in exile.
I'm not sure it will particularly matter, just because I don't believe they have any recursion for planeswalkers. However, it does still matter enough.
Yeah, it should be in exile for what it's worth. Okay, well, Scotty drawing a bauble is not the best, but it's not the worst, I suppose, either. There's a Muldrifter on top. Scotty... Yeah, this is awkward because that Muldrifter is just so good, but it's also good in the graveyard. So it's just like, what do you do? This is rough.
Yeah.
Oh
no! Oh, another one on top. Oh boy.
There's Unmarked Grave. Yeah.
Dude, Odin too, though. I feel like. I mean, I guess getting Archon of Cruelty. Oh, he has the Persist. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think getting Archon of Cruelty is gas here. This is a ton of damage.
Gas.
Ton of damage. Still draws you a card. No, I get what you're saying though. Didn't know if you didn't see the Persist. But yeah, this is a disaster for Scotty. 2 Leylines in hand, just doing nothing. I don't really know what we got to reveal the top of Odin's deck again, so someone's got to do that. There we go.
There we go. It's Faithful Mending.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't even know. I think if I'm Scotty, I would have been myself to try and find a land, and just let the opponent had mending. It's good in the graveyard anyway. So
yeah.
But Scotty here is just. I mean, this is just really things are going from bad to worse.
Mm-hmm. He needs essentially an Ensnaring Bridge like And that's about the only card that'll work for
Yeah.
him at this
Yeah,
point.
and I forgot Arkin triggers when it attacks, so now
Yeah.
Scotty's just going to not be able to ley line anymore either. He's going to run out of cards. Yeah, I think Scotty's working on borrowed time. He's dead to one more attack.
Yeah.
Alone. I think Scotty's like, yeah, Scotty just doesn't really have an out. Fairy is going to beat an ensnaring bridge even if he had a bridge. So it's just like really nothing he can do from here, unfortunately for him. So it looks like Scotty's going to go down 0-2 to Esper Reanimator. Almost certainly.
Yeah. At this point, this is extremely, like, I don't think there's anything he can do.
But this is a good example of why Scotty shouldn't have mulliganed so aggressively to Leyline, is Esper Reanimator can actually beat Leyline. Like, fairly, because of 3 mana Teferi, they're able to, and because of Prismatic Ending, they're able to both deal with your needles and then Teferi off the Leyline. So
yeah.
You don't want to mulligan that far to him.
Especially, like, that second hand he had, from what I could see of it, it was a very solid, keepable hand.
Yeah,
but
yeah, agreed. It was like Codex Shredder, Lantern. Man's Thoughtseize, and something else.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the 7 was, but the 7 looked kind of similar. Just another like pretty solid hand.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is a good. I think this is a really good learning experience for Scotty. And if he rewatches this stream, I think there were a lot of things to learn from just those 2 games, and hopefully he can, if he keeps playing Lantern, is a good little growing experience for him as a Lantern player.
Absolutely. I think it'll really help him learn the deck a bit better. Just like, I can tell it's definitely just him like getting in reps and trying out a new deck. And I hope, honestly, I think he could do really well with it if he just sticks with it and kind of learns the play patterns of it.
Yeah, Lantern's really fun for the guy playing it. It's very fun for playing it and not typically very fun. Although, I will say some of my most interesting matches with Death and Taxes were against Lantern control, because cards like Thraben Inspector, like you have to hold your clues forever to like time when you pop a clue to try and draw a card. And like when you're doing that dance, that's actually a really fun game of Magic when you're like fighting over draw steps.
I can imagine.
I always thought that was really interesting. Flicker Wisp and Eldrazi Displacer were like really fun to try and like beat. Like there were games where my opponent would Needle Displacer, but then I would Wisp out the Needle and then displace out the Wisp and do a bunch of cool things. And there were a lot of really cool lines in that matchup, so I always really liked that one a lot.
Absolutely.
But I think, folks, that is going to be it here for round 2. And we will be back probably pretty shortly. That match did only last 2 games, but I felt like that one took a little while.
That first game definitely took a bit, so.
Yeah. So I assume we'll be back with you all probably in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we will catch you soon. All right, Mason, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Awesome, dude. Well, it looks like we're about to start round 3. Players are starting to move around and get to their seats. So we'll have to see what our round 3 matchup's going to be here. I believe we're going to have Austin Munn as one of the players. So we're going to have 2 1-1 players against each other because Austin lost last round. But Austin's playing a really, really awesome deck.
I believe he's playing Kiki Cord.
He is, yes. Yorion Cord. Yorion Kiki Cord, 4-color Cord, Omnath.
The whole
9 yards. Yeah, exactly. So this should be pretty fun to watch.
Absolutely. It looks like our other player, I can't tell exactly who it is, but it looks like they're also playing a Yori in this, so there should be an interesting
nice. Just the classic 160 cards. Yorion v. Yorion.
In the sideboards there, we also almost have a Battle of Wits deck.
That's right. That is right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Danny will change these names here shortly for us. And for those tuning in, thanks for being here for round 3. Last round we saw teammate Scotty Bush fall with Lantern Control at the hands of Esper Reanimator. And in round 1, we saw Vale, who is now 2-0, by the way. I've kind of been between rounds going and checking out the tables and seeing what's going on. Vale is now 2-0, beat Hammer with the Kavu Predator Naya deck. And so Vale's 2-0 now. And that's who we saw win in round 1. And it looks like we've got Josh Vrogop, Mono White Taxes.
All
right. This should be pretty fun. Should be very fun to watch.
Absolutely. I am very excited to watch this match.
Danny helping me out with the pronunciation there. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, so as someone who's played a lot of Taxes, I think this is going to be a pretty bad, gosh, excuse me, pretty bad matchup for Taxes, just because Taxes does not typically like to play against the creature mirrors.
Yeah.
When you play against the creature mirrors, cards like Thalia are kind of awful. Leonin Arbiter could be okay against a 4-color deck for sure.
So if he is, I will say, since he's running the Yorion version, he might have Big Thalia, the Eldritch Moon Thalia, which could actually be very helpful in this matchup.
That is true.
That is insanely good in this matchup because of the whole Kiki Cord thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it stops the Kiki kill, which is good.
But we'll see. I'm excited to see what list this is. I know Austin's list fairly well, but
okay. Yeah, this will be very interesting for sure. Who won the die roll? Ooh, Josh. And a vial. That's gross. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Taxes. All right, but that's exactly what Austin wants. The turn 1 Noble. Both players just kind of doing exactly what they want to do on turn 1. I will say, I hope Austin didn't save a fetch in his hand, because that would have been dangerous. I would have liked fetching on turn 1 to play around Leonin. But what do we got here from Josh? Stoneforge. Well, this is about perfect. This is about perfect for Josh. Turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Stoneforge on the play.
Most likely Dragon Soldier complete.
I think so. You can't ask for much more than this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is Austin going to do? Is this going to be a Skyclave Apparition or a Night of Autumn?
Windswept Heath.
Okay. 2 mana. Thought I saw Charming Prince in there, so that might be what this is. Nice thinking. Changing your mind. A Wall of Omen.
Omens.
All right. We should draw a card, Austin. Austin needs to draw a card. There we go.
There
Good
we go.
deal.
Kind of
I
like
noticed
the main
last
reason you
Austin-
play that card.
Exactly, yeah. Funny enough, in round 1, our teammate Nate had to remind Austin a few times to draw cards off things like Omnath, so definitely going to be important to watch and make sure he's drawing his cards.
Absolutely.
Just playing a little too fast. Maybe a little nervous being on camera too. So, all right, here comes Cauldra. Yep. And Austin, just take the 5 here. There's no reason to block. Let's keep our wall in play, man. Keep your wall in play, man. What's this, Path? Ooh.
Solitude pitching an Unsettled Mariner Ephemerate.
Oh, and then Ephemerate it. Beautiful.
Oh.
Beautiful. Love it. I love this
That's
play.
very good to see.
That's a great play from Austin. Let your opponent put in the Cauldra. Okay, Solitude's getting pathed, but that's all right. We're good with that. We're good with another land drop here.
Yeah, honestly, you get a free land drop there and everything. Like, this is working out really well in Austin's favor.
Losing the Ephemerate's unfortunate, but he traded 3 for 2 there, basically. And, yeah, because Caldra's not going to do a whole lot in play at the moment. I mean, it could get wisped out, which is a very real thing. Wisping out a Cauldra to reset it and get another germ, but that's a good start to dealing with things here from Austin, which is nice. Now, I will say it's possible Austin should have just main phased that Solitude, because then the Ephemerate would have just resolved, and then he would be able to Ephemerate this Wall of Omens. So that is a slight misstep, losing an Ephemerate on the wall and then not having Ephemerate just generate that extra card. And then the Cauldra would still be in our opponent's hand, but that's debatable if that's better or worse. It depends if your opponent has more Stone Forges or not.
Horizon
Really
Canopy. Sack,
Stopping
draw
a
a
canopy.
card.
Okay, that's kind of odd, but ooh, okay, I get it. Okay.
I can't read what that is.
That's a really nice play. That's a nice play.
I can't read what that is.
It is a Renegade Rallier.
Ooh, yeah, very much so. That is a very good draw.
Yeah. Yep. Things looking pretty cool here for Austin right now. Needs a little more. I mean, I guess the Orion can be coming to town very soon.
I
Orion,
agree.
okay on this board. Draw a card off the wall. Get another Renegade Rallier trigger potentially. See what happens.
Get your fetch land back. Like, you're schmooving on this.
Yeah. I can't tell exactly what's in Austin's hand right now, but he's got 3 cards. Josh here thinking about what he wants to do. Tapping 2 mana. And cheating in a Batterskull? No, a sword.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that sword's not going to do a whole lot right now. It might force some blocks, I guess, at some point, but what is the Vial on 3 now?
Looks like it, yeah.
Okay, that's right where you want Vial. That could be a Flicker Wisp. It'd be really, really bad news. How is your buddy on Titan doing? He lives in Detroit, actually. He's probably playing Moto right now. BJ. So I don't know. I'll probably talk to him later tonight at some point. 3 mana.
Blastful Mimic.
That's pretty cool.
That is a very cool card. Targeting the Renegade Rallier to get back the Horizon Canopy. All right.
A lot of value going on, but
swing for 4.
Yeah. I think it's 3, right? Yeah, it's a 2/1. Renegade
Rallier.
Rallier.
No, it's 2/1. Sorry, 3.
All right,
You're
here
right.
comes. All right, now when is this happening? Is this a second main phase wisp or is this an end step wisp? Very, very important distinction.
It really is. It is a second main phase wisp. It seems.
Looked like a second main phase wisp. Let's make sure that was clearly demonstrated. Okay. Fetch. and Wall of Roots. Okay, well, that Flicker Wisp wearing a sword is going to be very scary.
Yes, it is.
It's funny enough, it has Pro Yorion, which is very relevant right now because Austin's next turn is looking to be put Yorion in my hand, play Yorion, and probably not happening now. And so, unfortunately for Austin, it definitely looks like the Solitude, the Stoneforge line would have been better than Solitude Germ, just the way things ended up. Unfortunate for him. We'll have to see what's in his hand, though. I mean, he could have another Solitude for all we know. I mean, there's only 2 cards. I saw Misty, so I guess it's probably not going to be a Solitude, huh? But we'll see what happens. Josh here. What is Josh going to do? I imagine he ticked the vial to 4, so next turn he can put Yorion in hand and do the flicker thing.
Yeah.
What is this? I'm baffled. Both at the attack and honestly at the block too.
Yeah. Like if anything, I feel like you block with Wall of Omens there just so you can get the Yorion out.
Yeah, I mean if you're gonna send the germ, throw the sword on it at least.
Yeah.
Because it has
you have the mana.
Yeah, it also has trample and so many other just gross keywords on that card.
That card, every time I read it, I just find another thing that it has where I'm just like, oh, I never knew that.
It is definitely one of those cards for sure.
It's like the questing beast of equipment.
Why did we tap 5 mana to put Yorion in hand? Did we do something else? Did he pop a can? He missed it.
I think no.
Did he pop Canopy?
Maybe, but then he still would have 1 mana open.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
Solituding the Glass Pull Mimic.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I guess this explains the no equipping the sword is because he wanted to flash into Solitude. Still don't love it personally. But...
Yeah, no, like you don't really need to care about it, to be honest.
All right. Well, there
is the sword equip.
Yep. Now, let's see how all this goes. So that I don't understand why the Wisp is not coming in. There's nothing that can block it. So
yeah.
And I also don't know where the vial's at, but I feel like it should be at 5. We should be putting Yorion in our hand and just wisping out just Yorioning out our entire board and then returning it end step, solituding, doing the Stoneforge thing, and then wisping out the Yorion to do it again on our opponent's end step. But it doesn't look like that's what is occurring.
Dealing 2 to the Renegade Rallier.
Okay, I'm fine with doing some board control. That's fine. If it's not lethal, you might as well control the board, I guess.
Not putting Yorion into hand once again.
Yeah, he does have Yorion, right? He is a Yorion deck?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. All right, here's Austin. Austin casting a Yorion. It's really all he can do. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah. All right, Austin needs a super good draw here. Nope, that ain't it. Yeah. Unfortunate for Austin. Looks like he's going to go down this game. Fell too far behind these equipments.
This is looks like he got a block with a Wall of Omens and pray for one more turn.
I guess, yeah. If Josh is smart, he moves the sword onto the Wisp, so that can't get blocked. So move the sword onto the Wisp. That effectively puts Austin to 2, and then Austin's going to have to also just like chump block the
Cauldra.
Aldra. Okay, hard
Uh,
cast Solitude. Well, that gains life though, so Austin's still not dead, but in terrible position. Now, if you're Josh, just send house. I mean, this is just easy send everything.
yeah.
Yeah, easy send
Yep.
everything. Yeah,
Yep.
not sending Stoneforge seems poor. No reason to hold it at all, in my opinion.
No, because it's just a 3/2 damage.
Yeah, two zero power creatures are not going to kill your Stoneforge, so I don't know. Austin gonna get another chance here in really big trouble, but maybe there's some kind of sequence that could keep him in this game. It's hard to imagine what that sequence would be at the moment, but Josh continuing to not. I think Austin just drew another land. Really, maybe an endurance, but not good. Regardless, not what you want to draw here. I think if you're Austin, let's just go to the next game. No reason to waste any more time. Games 2 and 3 could be complicated and take a long time for both players. So in spots like this, you just don't want to waste time. There's just no reason to keep fighting.
Yeah, no reason.
I'm a big proponent of not conceding when you're not dead, but this is just, I mean,
you're pretty dead on the next turn.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
How in the world do you win this game? And the answer is you probably can't. So let's have more time for the games that we can actually maybe win. All right, so Austin down a game. Unfortunate. We'll have to see what kinds of weapons he can bring in out of the board. Being an 80-card Kiki Cord deck, I'd imagine there are a lot of random cards that he could maybe have and bring in. So we'll have to see what happens. We will have to see what happens here. Things went really well there, though, for Josh. It's exactly how D&T draws it up and how you wanna win this matchup.
Absolutely, he had a very good draws. He sequenced fairly well.
Yep. Other than I'm wondering if you forgot about Yorion or what.
It seems like he might have, but like I don't know if that's something you like as a Taxes player. That's not exactly something you really forget you have a lot of the time, especially in paper.
Yeah, because your deck's so much bigger. It's a pretty easy one to remember.
Yeah.
Maybe he just genuinely never thought it was good to put in his hand. I don't know.
I guess, but like just mana efficiency just seems better than nothing at all.
Yep. I agree.
Seems like our players
might be bringing in. Yeah, they're taking quite a bit of time to do the sideboarding here. A lot to think about.
See, Austin definitely has like 5 or 6 cards he's pulling in from his sideboard, so.
Seems cool. I mean, when you're playing an 80-card deck, that's just that many more cards you have to contemplate if they are good in a matchup or not. So I can understand taking a minute on the sideboarding process for sure.
Absolutely.
Probably not a matchup either player has played a ton against. So.
Yeah, these are not exactly like meta decks at the moment. Although Taxes seems to be kind of popping up more and more, at least in the local scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of it in the local scene. This deck is not good, I promise. Anybody listening, watching, you do not want to take D&T to a tournament. I would highly advise not doing that.
Unless you're playing Legacy, you do not want to play
exactly.
D&T.
Exactly. I love Death and Taxes, but there's not a chance that I want to play Death and Taxes in a world where we can be playing like Thoughtseize, DRC, and Ragavan in Modern, or we can play Omnath and Solitude and Fury, and good players are typically not gonna. A lot of the metagame is just really, I think, hostile to Taxes right now because not only do you have all those things going on, you also just have a Dress Down deck that's one of the best decks in Modern, and Dress Down just completely nerfs really the entire strategy. Just really the entire strategy. Yeah. So, yeah, not something I'm super thrilled to try and play in Modern right now. But in Legacy, yeah, it's great.
Absolutely.
What Larry Fields is going to be playing in our Legacy seat this weekend is Death and Taxes.
I was hoping to be able to go to that, but unfortunately work was getting in the way. So
Fair enough. That happens when you have work for sure.
yeah.
Sometimes it gets in the way. But it looks like our players here are ready for game 2. And that's a great start for Austin.
Yep.
Just turn 1 Hierarch, please. Perfect. Exactly what he wants. Will Josh have another turn 1 Vial? Turn 1 Vial or turn 1 Giver?
Ganjo Castle Vial.
Turn 1 Vial. Turn 1 Vial again. My goodness, I can only imagine drawing Vial in all my openers in an 80 card deck.
Right. Renegade Rallier buying back the Windswept Teeth.
I don't draw Vial this often when I play it in 60 card decks.
Honestly.
Pretty annoying for Austin. Are we gonna have a turn 2 Stoneforge again too?
No, Thalia.
That should not be in the deck. Josh should have boarded that out. It's the
Yes.
worst card by a mile.
Like I guess I can understand it just for a first strike threat, but honestly, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that much in the grand
No,
scheme
yeah,
of things.
a lot of D&T players fall for the trap of not realizing when Thalia or Leon and Arbiter are bad. You need to understand when those cards don't do really anything.
Yeah.
And this is a matchup where Thalia does almost nothing. It's actually just it's detrimental to yourself because you make your like vials more expensive. You make your if you're playing path, you make those more expensive. If you're boarding into things like Dismember, which a lot of times D&T does, you're making those more expensive.
You're making all of your equipment.
Yep, exactly. So not typically what I want to be doing. Yep. Is he going to just put Yorion in hand here? No, he's going to cast another 2. Oh,
Reflector Mage bouncing Thalia.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't really love the Reflector Mage on Thalia there just because the Vial goes to 2 now.
You want, yeah, you definitely want it on the Vial.
Well, you can't make
Oh,
a
no,
Vial.
it's creature. It's creature.
I personally would have just probably put Yorion in my hand there if I'm Austin and just held the Mage for something more relevant later.
Yeah,
like for example, for example, just bouncing a Germ. Just bouncing Germ from Cauldron.
Exactly.
I mean, that is exactly what Reflect Mage wants to be doing in this matchup. So I personally just would have put Yorion in hand there if I'm Austin. But
I agree. And like also just the fact of having that threat of Yorion just on turn 4.
Yes.
Very good.
All right, Josh. Playing Skyplate.
Getting the Rallier.
Probably not what I would have picked, but I think personally I would have hit the Reflector Mage.
I would agree just because that with Yorion is very annoying.
Yeah. Yep. Very annoying to say the least. Now, okay, so this is big. Josh needs to see what's happening here. This is a very obvious Solitude in hand. Yep.
Yes.
Here it comes. Now this should hit the apparition. Good call.
Yeah.
Austin.
Good call on Austin. Because now you just get a free 3/3.
Yep, and I like doing it now because you can't get blown out by a Vial in the Wisp.
Exactly.
So yeah, Austin gets a 3/3 now as well. Josh in some trouble, I think.
I agree. It definitely seems in a very leaning towards Austin's favor.
Yep.
Just with the huge amount of board presence he's got.
Yep, I agree with all that. What is Josh going to do with his turn? That is the question.
Nothing.
Pass. All right, so Austin really needs to think about how do I not lose? Okay, Austin just. All right, I
Full
don't
on
like
Alpha
this at all.
Strike.
Why are we sending Solitude into Thalia?
We do
Awful.
not do
Awful.
that. That is an awful idea.
That's a really bad attack. I was going to say Austin needs to think about how to not get blown out by Flicker Wisp, but this attack, I mean, what? Oh, an Archon. Well, that doesn't.
Archon
Okay,
of
that's
Myriad.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's whatever. But imagine just not throwing our Solitude into the graveyard. Yowza.
Yikes.
Yowza.
I mean,
that's awful.
That's an attack that seems like you have a Solitude in the hand, and I sincerely hope so for Austin's sake.
Well, he doesn't because he's already put the Solitude in the graveyard. So, yeah, I don't know what that was. That was a really porous attack. And we talked about how Thalia doesn't make a lot of sense in the matchup. Well, Thalia makes a lot more sense when your opponents just slam 3/2s into it.
Yeah.
But, card really shouldn't make sense in the matchup.
Skyclave Apparition.
See, and we should have not. See, none of it. Okay, that should have hit.
That should have hit the Archon.
I would have hit the Vial, but I could have.
Oh
seen
yeah,
it.
Vial
Definitely should not have hit Thalia.
No, Thalia is a trap here. Like, Thalia does not matter that much.
No, it really doesn't matter at all. And the thing about that was really kind of weak for Austin too is if he just would have sent the Solitude alone, it would have been a 4/3. And then if your opponent does have Wisp, like the Wisp isn't even really impressive in that scenario. I don't know. This was not well done. All right, so Austin tapped out, and I assume he put Yorion in hand. Is someone playing? Thanks, BJ. I appreciate you, man. No, man, I'm not taking D&T, dude. I'm trying to win. My team and I are trying to win, so I will not be playing D&T this weekend in Modern. Elementals will miss me. Yeah, I'll miss the Elementals too, but I don't. I mean, it's possible I'll play that deck, but I think I'm leaning more towards the Thoughtseize variations. And then is someone playing Mono White Hammer? Not on our team, but actually, yeah, neither of the Swish gaming teams that are going are playing Hammer. We have plenty of people who are playing Hammer here tonight. It's a pretty popular deck in Grand Rapids as well. A lot of people playing that one right now. All right,
This is what should have happened last turn.
Yep, or something similar to this.
Yeah.
What is happening in this game? People are really just not. Nobody really seems to be evaluating their cards particularly well. People just kind of throwing things away. All right.
Cast the Orion.
See, and again, this is why are we not blinking the Apparition? See, again, this is why we should have hit Vial first, is we could blink our Apparition, and then Josh only gets a 1/1. Yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, I don't even know. It's tough to even really come to words with not blinking Apparition to eat a Vial there.
Yeah. Like, Vial is honestly one of the scariest cards in this matchup because you never know what's going to come out of it.
Yeah, it's the best card in Taxes. It's the best card in every deck it's in. Like, every deck Vial is in is by far the best card in the deck, and it isn't close. It's never close. It's always the best card.
Another Wall of Roots.
Okay, Solitude's going to get hard cast here. It's
Oh,
going to be a
very
hard
much
cast
so.
Solitude. Hard cast Solitude, hit your Yorion, and then trade with your 3/3. Yep. Yep, eat the Yorion. Austin, does he have an Ephemerate? What is this? Oh, Resto Angel. That is gas.
Oh, that card. Oh, that's gas.
That is big. That is big time.
Is gigantic.
Okay. Okay, can we eat the vial now, please? Can we please eat the vial? Just one time, eat vial, dealer. Blink your reflector mage. Blink out. Yep, that's fine. Blink your reflector mage.
Yes, there we go.
Yep, eats the vial, but I don't think he blinked the reflector mage. And I don't understand. I don't understand. Look at the board. There are two great things for reflector. There's a token which we can just permanently deal with.
Yeah.
There's a solitude that we could get off the table, and we just didn't do either of those things. I don't understand. And it looks like a token chump locked there. Okay. Eats this. And Austin actually missed an opportunity there to loop, I think, because he should have Yorion'd out the Restoration Angel, and then on end step, Restoration Angel the Yorion to keep this chain going, and he missed the chain. Austin definitely has a lot of learning to do with this deck, because not chaining is very poor. Letting your opponent do this is poor. Because imagine if we just would have maged out the Solitude, then our opponent would have had to at least cast the Solitude and could have Yorion the Solitude here. But
absolutely, it's fine. Like, you're getting rid of the Yorion here from Josh is getting rid of Austin's Yorion, which is fine.
Oh, a cord. This is a cord.
Oh.
This is a cord.
And
that was infinite.
Josh,
because we can get Kiki.
And we just
Josh
go to town.
He knows he's dead. We're going to the next one. Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're going to game 3. Austin's going to need to play much tighter in game 3. You're not going to win 2 games playing like that. Not very often. He made some really, really potentially critical errors, swinging a Solitude into a Thalia for essentially no reason, apparitioning a Thalia that had very little relevance, and then on top of that, we also saw a missed loop opportunity, which you just don't want to miss. Like, the looping Yorion is like insanely powerful. It's like part of the reason to play Yorion is being able to set those chains and do those Yorion loops.
Yeah, just blinking back and forth, always getting more and more value.
Yep, and he missed it there, and that's concerning to me, because to me, I'm wondering if he even knows how that works and how to set that up. And if he doesn't know how that works and to set that up, that makes his deck a lot less powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, all right, at least he remembered to reveal it, remembered to get it out of his deck. That's good. He almost shuffled it in there.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. All right, both players shuffling up.
Getting ready for this game 3.
Yes. All right, I'm going to go out on. I'm going to say Josh is going to win this match. That's my guess. What do you think, Mason? Who do you think is going to come out on top here?
I mean, I think I will know by turn 1. But I mean, crazier things have happened. But I think if Josh has the Aether Vial in game 3, Josh wins. And if not, then I think Austin wins.
Okay. That's a reasonable statement. Josh has already had it in 2 games, which is honestly not very likely in an 80-card deck to just have it on turn 1 twice. It's not even that likely to do it twice in a 60-card deck. If he has it in game 3, if I were in Austin's shoes, I'd be really annoyed. That my opponent just had it in game 1 3 times. Oh my! Okay,
Giver.
it's a giver.
Okay.
It's still very
Giver
good.
is very good.
Ooh, and Austin, that's an awkward land. That doesn't even produce green.
Yeah.
Ooh, a Leon
and Arbiter. Yeah, Josh definitely wins this game, I think.
Okay.
Wall of Verdict
all right. Now Arbiter's a little awkward because our opponent's getting a bunch of mana without fetching anyway. We'll see what happens. I do like Arbiter a lot against Cord, though. Very
It's
good against
very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, Arbiter's actually passable in this matchup, where Thalia is just very weak.
Yes.
All right, and Josh definitely wants an apparition here and eat the wall. Okay,
That
so
is a Sophie. Sophie seems fun.
yeah, I'm a little surprised Sophie stayed in the deck, but when you have 80 cards, sometimes some sketchers stay in, and it's not like
Yeah.
the worst thing in the world. It still gets your flyers through Yorion, which is good enough, I suppose.
Yeah. Skyclave apparition.
Nice.
Targeting
Yep,
the Giver is the correct thing to do.
Yeah, I like this. It's a good play. Because the sword's not doing anything through the wall of roots at all either, so
Exactly.
it's able to hold that back for a little bit. Austin's position looking pretty good. Pretty good. What is Josh going to do this turn? Okay, 2 mana. Is this a thought? No. Equip.
It's equip.
And that doesn't... This turn, that's not going to do anything unless we can deal with this wall. Is he going to Solitude a wall? Maybe. Is it a path? Path, and then you can't
At
search?
the wall?
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, that's brutal.
No.
No,
Austin,
no.
Austin, can't search. Can't search. Arbiter.
Oh,
Yep.
that is always brutal.
All right, well, we have to chump block. Not blocking doesn't make sense. Okay, that's just a terrible, terrible mistake from Austin because
Yes.
now
You do
his
not
sword-
want DNT to get card advantage, and you lose.
Oh
the
yeah,
coverage
your
anyways.
opposition's just dead anyway. So why wouldn't you block? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You're just giving your opponent a card, and the exact same result is happening that would have happened regardless. Okay. It's an Omnath. I think it is an Omnath. Pretty awkward.
seems like
Arbiter just gets right through that. Wearing a sword. What's this? Oh, that's the day-night werewolf that can blow up artifacts and
and enchantments. Yeah, that's really cool. It's
kind of gas. I mean, that's going to be able to blow up the sword.
And that's actually very relevant in this. That's, like, just taking out your opponent's main reason why their threat is a threat.
Yep.
Also able to. It can't destroy a Cauldra, but.
Correct. Still pretty good, nonetheless.
Still very good, yeah.
I love Danny putting day up there. All right, so we block sack. It's a very easy block sack. Okay. I hope he blocked. I really do. I really hope he also blocked. It didn't look like he blocked from their body language, but maybe he did. Giver. Okay. Scary. Yikes. I think that's another maybe it's an apparition, but it looks like a Misty to me.
That looks like a Misty.
Alright, here comes Omnath, though. Gain. That's going to be draw a card, and then we're going to play this fetch. Play a fetch here.
Draw a card. Play a fetch here.
See, I don't... Oh, he's leaving up Ephemerate. See, I would much rather him have played a fetch, gained 4 life, and then fetched a basic, and then used the 3 floating mana to put the Yorion in the hand.
Well, he can't fetch.
Oh, because of Arbiter.
Arbiter.
You're right.
So, but even then, though, still playing the fetch, because you can gain the 4 life. You can gain the 4 life on their turn.
Well, you can't because of Arbiter.
No, you're right. You're right.
Doing this was definitely right from Austin.
Because you're right. You're definitely right. I know what Arbiter does. I played this card on Monday, and I still somehow don't know what it does.
Yep. Nope. I mean, it's a weird card.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bad Aether Vial. Aether Vial on turn 5 or 6 is not really what you want.
Very much so.
All right, so we got a Ghost Quarter here. Yep. Yep. For Austin, just let that go. If you're Austin, do not be greedy with this ephemerate. Whatever you do, just hold it. Do not let your... Nope, this is not...
this is very
This is
bad.
not it. This is not how you play this deck. Now, he's lucky. His opponent didn't have an answer, but this is not how you play ephemerate.
No.
Very, very dangerous.
Very fast and loose, and that's not what you need to be in game 3.
Exactly. We call that loosey-goosey magic. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to be okay. He should definitely put a Yorion in his hand. All right, so he can pay for the Arbiter. So he gained 4 life. Now he's losing 1. So he's down 19. And he's going to get another land, generate 4 mana. And he should put Yorion in his hand with 3 of that. Shocking. He better be able to use. He better be able to use this mana. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely should.
There's no reason to be throwing your life out the window, even though you have Omnath. There's no reason to be taking shots you shouldn't take. So you better use this mana here, or have a good reason for that shock. So far, I'm not seeing a good reason for that shock. Yet again, a very awkward, kind of an awkward Reflector Mage, because our opponent's just going to tick Vial to 1 and cheat that back in, but it does give you a turn of being able to...
Okay. Hierarch. Put Yorion in hand. Okay.
I don't hate it.
This is fine. I think that's a fair enough line of play here.
I agree. Yep. Okay. All right, so we're in game 3. Everything is kind of on the line now. Both these players are 1-1. Loser essentially goes home empty-handed this evening, and the winner gets to play for some cash next round. All right, what is this? Attack for 3 with Mage. Okay.
Okay.
Fetch, pay 2, generate 4 mana, and then play a Yorion and blink out the boys. Blink out the boys. Okay. Yorion. Boom. Bang, as we say in the business. All right. These come back. Draw a card. Flicker. Okay. I would have just bounced the token there. Honestly, because again, you're setting up his vial. His vial's going to 2. Yeah, his vial's going to 2, so it doesn't make sense to bounce that because it's coming right back.
Anyways.
Coming right back into play. So you might as well just kill the token. Austin, I don't know if Austin drew his card, so they're probably trying to figure out if that happened. I think he did, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Giver. Yeah, Giver's in play. There it is. Okay, Josh. What is he going to do? He still hasn't even... Has he played his Yorion this game yet? He hasn't, right? He hasn't put it in hand, hasn't done anything with it. I think the day token is over his Yorion, if I'm correct, or maybe I'm wrong. Activating Vial, putting in an Arbiter, yes. Is there a path? There's a path on the Omnath, and we should pay 2 mana. Yeah,
yes,
okay,
very
good.
much go and get it.
Good, that's a good form there. Go get your land, no reason to not. Interesting that Josh went with the Omnath instead of the Yorion. I personally would have gone with Yorion because A, it's a flyer, and B, Omnath is a legend. So if Austin has more Omnath, he's just going to play more.
Yep.
So I personally would have gone Yorion there. All right, well, Austin does not have another Omnath yet, but he's going to pop this. Wonderlaw Grove. There is a Restoration Angel in Austin's hand, which is going to pose a huge threat. Austin just needs to be patient with that. He just needs
really
to not.
does.
He just needs to not be greedy. I mean, if he plays well, I don't think he will lose. But he just needs to not be greedy and be smart with his cards. And he's been a little aggressive at some points of this match so far, and he needs to rein it in and do some smart plays. No reason to do anything ridiculous at this point. Okay, apparition, you let this resolve. That does not matter. That does not matter.
Yeah,
Austin.
no.
It doesn't matter, dude. Just let it go, man. Just let it go.
Liquor Wisp.
You let that go too.
Yeah.
See that?
Bouncing back Giver.
See, now, yeah, I don't like this.
I don't either.
Really not a fan of the way this was sequenced, and honestly, Austin's in a good enough position where it may not end up mattering, but this is just really not. It's not how I would have played this.
No, not at all. Ephemerate Yorion.
Okay. Okay, now I maybe like it a little more, but
Yeah.
didn't know he also had the ephemerate, so that's kind of cool. So all this comes back. Reflector Mage triggers. Get that Wisp out of the way, I think.
Either the Wisp or the token. But
Yep.
yeah, I think the Wisp is probably the better target here because you have him where the Aether Vial is down.
He just didn't bounce anything. He chose to not bounce. Okay, what is going on? Okay. What?
I think he's
All right.
explaining the interaction.
I guess.
Okay. Getting rid of the token.
I'm a little confused why we didn't hit Restoration Angel. But
Yeah.
Here we are. I see. Austin debating
Okay, now you're doing it.
if he
You're doing it
wants
right.
to do the loop. Does he want to do the loop? Sure, so Danny's trying
Danny's
to walk
explaining.
them through. Yeah. Danny's walking them through how this all needs to work. Danny's a judge, so Danny can correct any mishaps that are occurring over here. Because there is a lot of weirdness going on. We've got a Yorion, that got ephemerated, and then we have a wisped out card on Josh's side of the board. So we just have a bunch of things that were flicked and that are coming back. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's how this worked at all. Oh wait, what? I don't even know, man. I'm a little confused. Okay, that's getting bounced, I guess. That was very difficult to walk through.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what happened exactly. I'm confused why we still have two face-down cards on Austin's side.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's because he Yorioned him out, but
He restoed and then Yorioned his creatures out. Yep, do the Reflector Mage. Now you can hit the Arbiter. Now I like hitting the Arbiter. See, I don't like that, because now... Okay. Assuming this works the way I think it does, I think the Resto can protect itself from getting answered because Resto enters and then Yorion can flicker it out.
Yeah.
So that apparition is going to be unable to hit anything.
Yeah.
Well, but Josh does have a vial though, so you can instant speed it. You can actually break the chain by instant speed apparitioning the Restoration Angel.
Austin specifically needs another Ephemerate to save himself from this apparition destroying this loop.
Yep. So no, Austin he's put himself in a difficult position now. He should have just bounced the Arbiter. Because the Arbiter couldn't have even been redeployed. I don't know if he paid 2 mana to ignore Arbiter's effect. I suppose with this much mana,
I think he did.
Matter, okay. All right. These come back. Nope, that's not at all what we should be hitting. We should be hitting the Giver now.
Yeah, we definitely hit the Giver now.
We should have hit Arbiter into Giver, and Austin's just continuing to give his opponent like good cards back in his hand.
Yeah.
This is bad news. This is really bad news. Austin's in a lot of trouble. He's really put himself in a difficult position. Okay, that's a good draw, but the chain has been broken. Imagine how good this would have been if the chain was still going. Austin, I don't know. Austin has not played particularly well here. All right, that's the Day-Night Werewolf again, I think.
Yes, it is.
Never mind. It's a... Oh, yeah, it is. And he just blew up the vial immediately. I'm a fan of that. Yep, play that. Attack for 4, dude. Attack for 4. Get in there. Yep. But Austin now is in a bad spot. If he needs to blink the Giver. You got to blink the Giver. Okay,
yes.
He did it.
Bouncing the Giver.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Austin. Dude. Well, now everything gets really awkward because now Josh can play the Wisp, blink out that 4/4 that Austin just got. So the 4/4 was useless essentially. And then now the Giver just gives Josh infinite blocks of the Yorion until he finds a way out. So now we're kind of at a stalemate. Austin has taken his very advantageous position and
that's a Cauldron complete.
Potentially just thrown it in the garbage. Okay, that's a not what? There's no flyer. Why did we play Cauldron? What is this? What is this play? So Josh,
he just takes it.
Yeah, the game's over.
And then he kills you.
Yeah. The game's over. Yeah, I don't even know, man. I mean, I almost feel like apologizing to the viewers. This is a
clown fiesta.
End of this game here. Really cool decks. But both players. It's been a long round. I guess. Okay, we're in a way to win the game. I guess.
Yeah, I guess, but.
But I would rather play to the draw than just kill myself. I mean.
Yeah.
I don't understand what Austin's doing now either. He's attack with the Orion. Oh, does he have a Solitude? Maybe Josh has a Solitude. I didn't consider Solitude.
Maybe.
Yep, Solitude.
Yep. Pitching Yorion.
Oh, no, he's just
no, he's throwing his cards.
Throwing his cards on the table. Well, okay, folks. Austin is 2-1 and still has a shot for some money. Josh, unfortunately, going to be 1-2. It's going to be the end of his aspirations for some cash tonight. The really cool decks, really great decks too, when executed properly. And for the most part, Josh, we didn't see a ton of mistakes from. I think turns threw him off. A lot of F&M level players are not used to having to play in the turn counter like that, so he may have just kind of kind of
A bit
forgot.
frazzled.
Yeah, exactly. It may have razzled him a little bit, which is understandable. I don't like playing under the turn count either, but you know it happens. You gotta be able to do it. Um, but yeah, you know, just playing the Cauldron has made him bad, so wasn't a big fan of that at all. And then, you know, we saw Austin just really make multiple, some small, some pretty large mistakes, and you know, fortunately for him, it didn't cost him, but he needs to clean it up going into the
Yeah,
last round. You're not gonna win. Like now, you're 2-1. You're gonna play a pretty high end local guy, and we've got a lot of good players in Grand Rapids. This is not indicative of what our F&Ms look like. We don't have people just throwing games away left and right. That's, you know, not typically how things go here. But you know, we'll kind of see what happens in the next round. But Austin needs to clean it up. That was not an impressive. It was a win, but it was, you know, not an impressive win by any means.
It was by the skin of his teeth, if we're being fully honest there.
Yes, absolutely by the skin of his teeth. He took a really good position and nearly lost it, but then his opponent kind of gave it back to him. People aren't always going to give it back to you. I mean, when you hand things away, a lot of people are going to take them. So Austin does win here. He's got to clean it up. And honestly, you know, we just hit time, so I think we're just going to stay with the viewers here. I'm not even going to walk away or do anything. I assume everybody's probably done, so I'm not going to be able to catch much action here. So we're gonna hang out. We're gonna wait for round 4. I've heard whisperings that our other teammate Kyle Montgomery may be on stream this round, so we'll see what happens. He is on Hammer, which should be interesting. Yeah, BJ. I agree, man. I play these creature decks fairly well. I'm not, you know, I make mistakes too here or there. There are a lot of decisions to make, but typically I don't make mistakes quite like some of those. The reflector. Austin just continued to. It felt like almost every reflector mage was the wrong target. Almost every.
It seems like he just doesn't. I can understand not knowing, like, sometimes what the threats for D&T are and like what's the actual problem on the board, but even then, like, after playing it a couple of games, like, you should kind of realize like what's going on and what you should really be focusing on.
Yeah, he just kept bouncing. He just kept bouncing good ETB creatures that could be, or creatures that were literally going to be on the vial curve the following turn. Like we saw him bounce a mother into a vial on 1, and then we saw him bounce a 2-drop into a vial on 2.
Yeah,
and then we saw him not. Yeah, exactly. We saw just a lot of things that were not particularly good, but you know it ended up working out for him. So, you know, good for Austin. Congratulations on the win. But got to clean it up. Not an easy deck to play. I get it. But we need, you know, we gotta be stronger than that. Gotta come to win, playing to win. And when you're playing to win, you don't want to be giving your opponent a bunch of value. Magic is a lot about value. And when, especially in these this is a very value-centric matchup. Both decks like want to generate an obscene amount of value off their cards. They're creature value decks. It's literally like how you describe these decks.
Yeah, I mean, D&T is end of the battlefield triggers deck. Like, there are only certain creatures you really want to actually bounce off of it. So
yeah.
Oh joy.
That stack was super awkward, that end step stack.
Oh, the end step stack. Yeah. The end step stack was awkward for sure. We were talking about that over here on stream, actually, how it was pretty awkward, and it was good that Danny, you know, is a certified judge, at least level 1, maybe even level 2 at this point. But you know, he was there to help you guys through it and clean it up. I've had some weird stacks too. The Invitational actually had a really weird stack with like Yori, or not a Yorion, but I'm playing Elementals, so it was an Omnath, and my opponent like had tried to deal with my Omnath, and then I had like 2 Risen Reefs in play, and then I ephemerate my Omnath, and then so we had to first you have to like figure out which copy of Omnath it is, and then like what amount of lands have entered under this specific omnath, and it got pretty weird and confusing. But fortunately, there were judges there to kind of help us walk through what was going on. It was really important for me because I already had 2 GRVs and wasn't trying to pick another one up. So it was very important that I didn't do anything stupid with a very complicated stack because it could have cost me a game. But you know, these creature ETB decks, man. I mean, sometimes they get into those really weird positions. And it looks like our last round is about to get started here. So that's exciting. What would you like to see on camera this round, Mason?
I mean, I would enjoy seeing, like, since we know Kyle's on Hammer Time, I think an interesting matchup would be either like Burn or potentially like Amulet, especially with the new Cultivator Colossus tech that's been going around.
Very cool. That would be really neat. I think we actually do have one player in here. I think Kyle Gonzalez is on an Amulet build. I'm not sure if it's the car. Ooh, and we might actually have him on camera here. This might be Kyle Gonzalez. Oh no, hold on. That's not Kyle Gonzalez. That's
Is that Daniel Staub?
Yeah, I think it is. This is
So that means it's most likely a Belcher pile.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not Daniel Staub. It's I don't actually. I forget this guy. I play him like every week. You'd think I know his name, but I don't remember his name. Really solid player though. Pretty sure he's played on a PT. This is gonna be a different round, folks.
We have Noah Huizinga.
Okay, Noah Huizinga, Team Swish member. Not sure how his record is tonight, but I know he's playing Grinding Station. Station, Mox, Amber, Embry, Ragavan, that deck. And then we've got Josh, or sorry, not Josh, the names haven't been edited yet, but very good player on the other side. I'm pretty sure he's played on at least a Pro Tour. He was walking around one of the 2Ks with a PT bag, and typically people don't walk around with a PT bag who haven't played on the PT. So, assuming he's played on the PT, so very, very high level Magic player, and actually, I think you're going to get
Yorion.
Yeah, I think BJ is actually going to get his wish here, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure Josh is on. Well, not. I keep saying the names keep screwing me up, but I'm pretty sure this is the 4-color money pile. He played against me last week when I was on Hammer. I beat him, but I'm going to be honest. I get really lucky against this dude. I've had his number, 3-0 against him. I beat him twice at the 2Ks and then once at F&M. And I wish this guy was my opponent like every round because I just seem to draw beautifully when I play against him. So
fair enough.
But he's a really good player, and Noah's also a really good player. Team Swish team member. Oh yeah, Noah, we know.
Noah's showing us.
We know what's in your deck.
Oh
anyway,
baby,
you don't got to show off.
He knows what he's doing.
Noah's showing off. We don't even want to see Noah's deck. We want to see the 4-color pile deck. BJ already said he wants
Snake
the 4-color
Eyes.
pile. That's what we're getting here. So Noah just needs to put his cards down. We're not interested in this. No one wants to see Mox Amber. We already watched Don Lee's Mox Amber deck on stream last week, Wednesday. And by the way, day 2'd Vegas. Don Lee day 2.
Yeah, I heard about that.
With Mox Amber aggro, so good on him. He didn't take any of the recommendations I told him. He just kept the 75 as was, and made day 2, and then did pretty badly in day 2 because he couldn't beat on that. Well, it looks like Noah has a pretty good hand. I think it's
Noah has a really solid hand.
Ragavan, Amber, Urza Saga,
Trevor Dalton,
and also an Unholy Heat. Trevor Dalton, yes, yeah. Trevor knows what's up. He knows how to play. We're not going to see loosey goosey Magic in this round.
No, this is going to be that high level competitive Magic we like to see.
Yeah, this is going to be good stuff. This is hopefully going to be what you want to see. Players who know what the heck they're doing, and they're not going to spew value on the table. They're going to make good decisions and do a lot of good stuff. So here we go. Trevor on the Mulligan 6, bottoms a card. Here we go. Yep, fetch land. Is he going to fetch? No. This is going to pass. I assume he's gonna have a bolt. I assume he's gonna have a bolter helix for Noah's play.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is, BJ. Yes, it is. It is the deck you want to see. Yes, BJ, usually this deck beats Mono White Hammer, but again, I draw insane against this dude. So last week, game 1, I drew triple Pure Steel, triple Hammer. So I always played a Pure Steel and then had a Hammer to flash into at least draw a card. So I just kept being up on cards. And then finally, the third Pure Steel, pretty much, I think it was the third Pure Steel put in from Aluris. So basically the 4th copy of Pure Steel that finally did my opponent in. And then game 2, he drew very badly. All right, so Noah here, Emery, Bauble.
Ooh, hitting an Aether Spell Bomb. That might actually be very interesting to see.
It would be interesting if Noah is able to establish it, but I fully expect this Emery is not long for this world. I think it's going to die immediately, but you never know. I mean, maybe Trevor doesn't have it, but the thing about this is Prismatic Ending's not going to deal with an Emery.
No.
Emery's a 3 CMC spell. So Trevor, there's the bolt.
Yeah, there's the bolt.
Trevor's got the bolt. See you later, Emery. But let's not forget, Noah, I think, has a Ragavan in his hand, which means he's going to be able to dash and then have a mana off Amber
to cast whatever he hits.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think he has Monkey, and there it is, and it's coming in attacking. Does Trevor have an answer to Monkey? No. So that's going to be a treasure. It's going to be some damage. It's a Sleep
And
Vent.
gets the land off the top.
Land is not good, but the Lotus Petal certainly is good. So Ragavan back in hand. And I like this from Noah because it won't expose Ragavan to Fury.
Exactly.
Which is a very big deal because Fury, one of the reasons the 4-color pile deck is good is Fury. So
yeah.
Alrighty. And so, what is Trevor Dalton going to do? This guy has to have Seas. Yeah, Seas for Saga. I'm sure he does play Seas. He does. He played him against me last week. More so, he'd like to have an answer to this Ragavan. He'd like both, I guess.
See a Renin 6 in his hand.
Ooh, a Renin 6 would be okay, because that can get us more land drops.
Yep.
And Noah can't really pressure the... I mean, Noah has an Unholy Heat in hand, though, which I guess Trevor doesn't know that, but...
Okay, fetching.
Yep.
Probably going to get either a Triome or some sort of probably a Hallowed Fountain.
Yep. I could see that. Maybe a basic. His mana's pretty good.
Maybe. Yeah. Hallowed Fountain, it looks like.
Hallowed Fountain, so he's going to shock. Clearly values really good mana.
Yep.
The Fairy. All right,
Fairy?
what do you do this? You plus this? No, he minused.
Minus bouncing the Urza side.
Yep, it's a good play. It's a good play.
It's a very good play.
If you don't have an answer to it, just send Noah back on mana. Now Noah has to think now. Do I play Saga again to expose it to more? And he just says, screw that. No, hold on. He does play Saga. He says, okay, I'm doing it. Okay, now he's going to dash Monkey. But now the question is, does Monkey hit the Fairy or does it hit face? Does it generate a treasure? And it's going to generate a treasure. Yeah. Now this could be very bad for Noah.
Ooh,
because
memory.
That's a good hit because Trevor's not drawing it.
Yeah.
But exactly. Here's the thing that starts getting scary. When the 4-color pile deck has Teferi in play, and Noah recognizes the danger of letting
you
that...
You need to get rid of that as soon as possible.
Recognizes the danger of letting that stick in play, because if that sticks in play, Trevor can just do whatever he wants and just knows Noah can do nothing to stop him.
Exactly.
So, all right, here comes an iteration, I think. Trevor's acting like he has an iteration. Yep, this is an expressive iteration. Boom. Oh, Ren.
Ren 6.
Let's give me a Ren, a plus, get a land back, I'd imagine.
Yep.
Okay. Excuse me.
Here, Mesa.
Yep. Okay.
Play it, sack it.
Trevor with a fetch. Now he needs to start being careful with his life total though. He's down to 10.
Yeah, he's.
I don't like
pretty
fetch shocking
testy.
too much. Yep, and that's fine to an extent, but at some point you got to stop being aggressive with him and just say, okay, I can't just be too wild with my life total.
Yep, getting a basic plan.
Okay,
This seems
yes,
correct.
I like it. I like it. All right. Yep, 2 mana. What's this? An ending? Oh, spreading seas on the saga. Boom. Blow it up and draw a card.
Draw a card.
Oh, and so Noah.
Very efficient.
Noah has petals, which is good, but Noah doesn't have many lands. His land drop 2 turns in a row has just been kind of stonewalled. So, you know, things look okay for Noah, and they are okay. But, you know, Lotus Petals only have 1 use, and the Amber's only activating when we actually have this Ragavan in play. So, what's Noah going to be able to do now? There's a Bauble, okay? Bauble, then Bauble, Trevor. Okay. So Trevor revealed. I didn't see what it was.
Not either.
Okay. Well, now Ren just is gonna hit another land drop, and now I like the Omnath. Can we land an Omnath here? Omnath here would be amazing.
That would stabilize
Omnath,
him
play fetch,
immediately.
Yeah, immediately indeed. Oh, buddy, and here it might be coming. What is Trevor gonna do with this turn? Yeah, it's an Omnath.
Yeah, it's on now.
Oh, baby. Here we go. This is what you want to see right here. If you're BJ Czarny, this is exactly what you were hoping to see in chat right here. It's the 4-color money pile going off. And Trevor might just, if he doesn't want the mana, then he'll just gain 4 more life. And if he does want the mana, then he'll fetch it off. So he wants the mana. He's going to use his mana here to do something impressive. And, you know, Noah just went from being in a pretty good position to all of a sudden, you know,
He's in a very bad spot all of a sudden.
Went from very good to very bad very quickly. And if he can't find an answer to this Omnath, things are going to get really out of control really quickly. Because, you know, we've got a Yorion that's looming as well, and I'm assuming this is 5 mana play. Double green is he going to Eternal Witness here? This is an Eternal Witness Ephemerate. He's using 2 green and then leaving a white photo. I'm assuming this is going to be
Yep, Eternal Witness.
And I would imagine he returns Ephemerate, because I believe there's... Oh, no, an Ephemerate got exiled. I don't know that one's ever been cast.
Returns to Fairy.
I love it.
Yeah, this is very, very good for Trevor.
Trevor is just establishing control of the game. Now what he can do with Teferi is he can play Teferi and unsummon Eternal Witness, play Eternal Witness again, do more Eternal Witness nonsense.
Yeah.
One thing he can do. He can obviously also bounce the Omnath, do Omnath thing. I mean, he can do tons of stuff. Teferi, obviously very good. He can continue to bounce like sagas and stuff too, so Noah's just never going to be able to establish Urza's saga. Noah's in a lot of trouble. Noah's going to need some good draws. He doesn't have a very good hand. And Trevor trying to think about if he wants to do anything else with his mana. I think he has an Ephemerate in hand, and he's debating, do I want to Ephemerate right now? I like Ephemerating right now. Oh, a Prismatic ending on... okay.
Yeah,
I'm into this.
I'm in.
Cut Noah back a mana 100%. You know he has Ragavan, so let's make Noah use some Lotus Petals. All right, well, there's a Dry Rage Channeler. I assume Noah is Delirious.
I would imagine so at this point. He definitely has Enchantment Land, Artifact, and he might have Creature. Yeah, they're packing it up.
Yeah, Noah sees the writing on the wall. I like this concession. I mean, you're pretty buried there. Yeah, exactly. But Trevor, I mean, that was really good work from him. Did a very good job of just kind of
Biding his time.
BJ just being super biased for 4-color pile, but I love it. If Elementals is on stream, I'd want that deck to win too. And I'm not gonna lie. I sometimes I cheer against the team members, and right now I think I am, because the 4-color pile deck is sweet. I do love the 4-color pile deck. I do. Even though I haven't played it, it is a deck I would enjoy playing and could see myself playing in the future. The only reason I'm not playing it this weekend is I think I'm going to need my attention in both modern, and in all the formats. I'm going to need to be able to give a little bit of attention to my teammates. And so I think a deck like 4-color pile would be a very bad decision for me to play, because I have to pretty much put infinite amount of focus into my game and then I can't help my teammates as much as I would like to be able to. Whereas with the red-black deck, things like that, pretty much that deck usually only takes 5-6 turns to
Yeah,
win
it
or
kind of
lose a
plays
game.
itself a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. The game is decided within the first 6 or 7 turns typically. The hand hate spells set up, and then 10-year threats go the distance.
For sure.
So I think it's just going to be a better suited deck for a team event. And obviously, like, sometimes you go really deep with that deck too. You don't obviously win every game on turn 6 or 7, but I'm just the amount of time I'll spend in my match is certainly going to be lower with that deck than with one of these just infinite value ephemerate decks. Martinez DP is legend on it on MTGO. Sure, with the 4-color deck, yeah, I could never play this deck on Moto. Don't even, yeah, I wouldn't even try to play
there's
this.
so many triggers that
There is no way. There's no way I would not lose at least 2 games to clock. I'd probably lose more than 2 games to clock, honestly. I'd probably lose almost every game to clock. It would not be a good deck for me to play on Moto right now. I don't know how to man it good enough. I play this all the time, all I play. Well, that's cool, man. Someday I'll be better at manning Moto. Right now, I'm not very good at it. I don't even understand how the yields work sometimes. I don't understand why cards like Bauble are disgusting because I have to yield for like 3 different triggers on one card, and I don't even understand what I'm yielding to half the time. And then I still have to click OK even once I've yielded. It doesn't even make sense. I'm like, why do I have to click OK? I've yielded. We should just go past this. Clearly, OK is what I want if I'm saying yield. But anyway, auto yields. Yeah, man. I just don't know how they work yet, I guess. I need to get better at them. Just need to get better at Moto in general. All right, Noah thinking about his hand, Trevor thinking about his hand. Noah kept his. It looks like Trevor kept his as well. Noah, it's a weird hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it, but I guess we'll find out soon.
Don't playing a Misty.
Yep.
Grabbing a steam vents. All right.
Yep.
Not surprising. I'm excited to see what happens this turn, though. Because I see double Urza Saga in his hand, and he draws an island.
So the double saga would explain. Okay, I was going to say the double saga would explain why he has not popped a Bauble, but I guess he just wants to hit land drops right now. More lands are good. More spells, just kind of he wants the information. I would have probably liked for Noah to wait on popping the Bauble, because obviously now Trevor can just fetch, and so he doesn't know that information anymore.
Yeah.
Probably should have waited for Trevor to fetch and then pop the Bauble.
Yeah, like
a little
wait
cleaner.
until upkeep. Wait until upkeep to know that what he's drawing.
Yep. Do that
Spreading
too. That's a
Seas.
spreading seas, and that's a metallic rebuke. Okay, it's pretty good for Noah.
Very
Okay,
much so.
take this up. Draw a card. I assume he's going to dash in Monkey here. I don't know though. Maybe he's going to make Saga tokens. Yeah, maybe just make Saga tokens.
Saga tokens seem fine, honestly. Just because they're a bit less. You worry about them a bit less getting lost than.
Exactly, and we talked about value. You just want to get full value out of your cards. I mean, Urza Saga, you want to get both constructs and the search. So Noah's just not going to be greedy. He's just going to make sure he gets the constructs and try setting up. Yep, and Trevor probably going to try playing a Teferi here, I'm guessing. We'll see. Maybe Teferi's not good. Maybe Teferi's not good here. Maybe he's got something else, but yep, Teferi. I assume it's going to bounce the Saga again.
Yeah.
Noah will make a token, but Trevor's going to send him back a land. Yep. And so Noah making a thing, fetching, obviously. So he'll be able to kill the Teferi, which is good. But we saw Trevor do this last game, and we're going to see it again. Trevor is just going to get ahead on mana, and he's also, he doesn't care that he's down this Teferi because the Teferi replaced itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a 3 mana, bounce your land, draw a card. That's exactly what this is. 3 mana, bounce your land, draw a card, and it's going to force Noah to send some amount of damage at it too. So it buys you a little bit of life as well. It's kind of like, in this case, it's going to be bounce a land, gain 3 life, draw a card. Okay,
Draw
maybe not 3 life because the bauble's gone, but you know what I'm saying. And the thing is here too, Trevor could just have a Solitude. He could just have a Solitude and Protect a Fairy too. So, Noah's got a lot of things to think about here. Do I dash Monkey? Do I not dash Monkey? How afraid of Solitude am I? Do I have another Mystical Dispute? Or not Mystical, do I have another Metallic Rebuke? What am I doing here? Okay, he's playing the Saga again. And, if Trevor continues to have this Teferi nonsense, this is going to get worse and worse for Noah.
Dash the Monkey. I think right here you just said both.
Yeah, and he didn't. And Trevor, right here, he's got the solid. I think he's got the solid.
I think he does.
You kind of tell he's debating. What do I do? Do I care about the Ragavan hitting? What is the best way to leverage my cards? And Trevor's going to do this well. He knows how to play.
Yeah.
I said that at the beginning. He's not going to do something stupid here. He's going to figure out what the correct thing to do is, and he says, all right, whatever. My Teferi didn't matter. I don't care about you getting a random card. Yep, Prismatic Ending does nothing. So, all Noah gets here is a Lotus Petal. And Trevor identified that he didn't really care about a Lotus Petal. He can beat a Lotus Petal.
Yeah. And especially when, like a Lotus Petal, it gives him an extra mana, but like at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Graveyard check. I think we have 2 baubles, a Rebuke, and 2 lands, which means we're not Delirious. Which means if there's a Fury in Noah's future, this is going to be bad news.
Yeah, this is going to be.
There is Fury coming. We are in some deep trouble.
Yeah.
Also, Ren and 6 can just snipe off the Darcy
For
as
sure.
well. So let's kind of see what happens here. Now, I will say, though, Noah does have a copy of Lightning Bolt, so he could try, blind hitting Delirium. Seems a little awkward, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's a Thought Scour in hand. I can't tell what that blue card is at all. There's a blue card in his hand that I can't identify what it is. All right, what is this? Eternal
Witness. Buying back a land? Okay.
Yep, makes sense. You want to set up Ephemerate here. You want to set up Ephemerate. This also sets up a good block on Ragavan now. Okay. Trevor is fetching now. Makes sense.
I think Trevor's issue here now is him getting Noah being able to buy back or replay the Urza Saga kind of ended up putting Trevor back because he was able to make one more construct than originally anticipated, which could kind of bury Trevor at this point.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Trevor's in a pretty good spot here, but we'll see what happens. I'm expecting Ephemerate plus. Yep, there it is.
Yep,
it's
Solitude.
Solitude, and we're gonna Ephemerate the Solitude now. And BJ's saying that he thinks the last card is. Okay, so he's going to go for this.
Yeah,
now,
Noah
has the Bolt. So Noah's going to be able to Bolt this in response. Okay, he has to lose the treasure to do so. Trevor, that wasn't the best thing in the world for him, but it also wasn't the worst. I mean, he got Noah's treasure off the board, and he still has Eternal Witness to just trade with Ragavan if he so chooses to do so.
For sure.
Here comes Monkey, I'd assume. No, Bauble. It grows the guy. Okay, Noah says, you know what, I'm just gonna make a construct. I've got to do construct things. All right, I don't hate this. Noah, again,
this is fine.
Trying to get full value out of all of his cards. What is the best way to assemble my cards in such a way that I can, win this game, pull ahead of Trevor's card advantage with my lands. All right, now what is Trevor going to do? Trevor needs a good answer here. He's falling a little bit behind now. That Solitude Ephemerate not working was rough for him, so he needs to do something good here. He's in the tank. He's thinking about what to do. Thinking about what to do. So, 3 mana. So he's gonna nope 2 mana. Is it Ren?
2 mana? Ren and 6.
Ren.
Yeah,
Yep.
Ren's
not amazing. I mean, it
yeah.
can get more lands, but
Like he doesn't have very good targets for his minus, just because Noah's going to continually dash Ragavan in from now on if he's going to cast it at all.
Correct. Yep. You don't want to expose it to Fury, and you don't want to. Okay, what's this going to be? Okay. Yep. The draw card, Aura. Sure. Abundant growth. Yeah. Now Trevor. What's this going to be? A lane.
Play Misty.
Okay.
This is just really unfortunate that he does not have an Omnath right now, because that seems...
Yeah, Trevor doesn't look like he has that many cards in his hand either. He's in a rough spot here. Noah, yeah, he's down 2 cards, and Noah, next turn, I mean, these constructs are going to be 3/4/4s. He's probably going to make another one, I assume.
Yep.
Or is he going to leave up Rebuke? Because we said BJ noticed the Rebuke, but here's the thing, you can just make a construct and then tap the bauble the construct and the thing he tutors for, I guess you need a blue mana, so he
still has the steam vents, so
yeah, he's got the vents, so he has Rebuke up, and he also gets the pressure. Yeah, Trevor might be in some trouble. Trevor might be in some trouble here. Not where you want to be.
Yeah, the real question is, what do you grab here? Aether Spellbomb seems...
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it just because, I mean, it's going to be a way for Noah to just bounce a thing that gets in the way. It also stops Ephemerate shenanigans even with a Teferi in play, because you can activate Spellbomb even with Teferi in play. So even if Trevor's to assemble some nonsense, you're able to kind of stop that. And now Noah's swinging for 10 here, so Trevor just has to chump. Trevor just got to chump, and that's bad. That is really bad.
Really rough.
Trevor's facing down 3 5/5s, 2 of which connecting will be lethal.
He really needs some blockers right now.
Yeah, and Noah has a Metallic Rebuke.
Yeah,
and a Ragavan that can just be dashed. So Trevor's at 5 life in a lot of danger. And I can't tell if Noah had a bolt at some point. I don't know if it's
he used the bolt on the
that's right. He used it on the Solitude.
Solitude, yeah.
Trevor going to 3 is very bad news, because then he can just lose to another bolt.
Yeah.
And that's obviously ignoring all the potential death that just sits in play right now. Iteration. All right, this better be a darn good iteration. I don't think Trevor's getting out of this game 2. I think we're seeing a game 3 amongst 2 top-notch players here, playing for some really good standings. I assume both these players might be 3-0, but there's certainly 2-1. Always 2 of the better players in the room. What is that? Is that a... Okay.
I have no idea.
It might have been a Hercule's recall, but it got rebuked. I don't know. Either way. Nope, not good. Or Supreme. Yeah, Supreme would have been good.
Supreme would have been good.
Supreme would have been good for sure. Yeah, the rebuke play was really good for sure. You are correct, Mr. Kazarni. The rebuke play was quite strong. All right, so our players thinking about if they want to make any board changes. It looks like Trevor has 1 card he wants to exchange when he's on the play.
I think Needle would probably be a good choice, honestly.
Yeah.
Since you can find it You can find it off of Urza Saga, and being able to turn off either Teferi or Ren and Six is just very, very good.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
See, I'm debating on it.
Yep. All right, so going to game 3. Mason, who do you think is going to win this one here?
I mean, Noah's playing like he's shuffling. I don't know about that, but I think Trevor really has kind of the advantage here with being on the play. Just having that
Yeah.
that turn advantage really makes a difference in this matchup.
Yeah.
Just because, as we've seen, Noah's turn 2 play has generally been an Urza Saga into a Dash Ragavan, and having the Teferi being able to go just bounce your Urza Saga immediately on turn 3 is very, very powerful.
Yeah. I already know who BJ thinks is going to win this matchup, so I'm not even going to ask him in chat here. We all know who he thinks is going to win. Zach, I don't know if Noah has Torque Orb. He might. Torque Orb's probably pretty reasonable. He is an Urza deck though, so it's like, it's a little awkward with some of his cards. I think he's an Urza deck. I'm pretty sure he plays Urza. I could be wrong. But I thought there were Urzas in this 75.
Noah is a very good player, BJ. I can confirm that one.
Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah, mulligans suck, and I think is Noah going down to 5 now?
I think he's going down to 6.
Okay, 6 is fine.
6 is fine. 5 is where we get some pretty rough territory.
Yeah, mulling versus 4-color does suck, BJ, for sure, but Noah knows what he's looking for, so we'll see if he can find a good setup here.
Double Emery.
He's got Emery, but it's not a quick Emery, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem. Can't deploy him early. No artifacts to speak of. Yeah, this is... Okay, he kept it. He's thinking, okay, bottom's that. Trevor's going to lead the way here. Trevor on the play. Tap land, go. It's a triumph. Yep. Steam Vents and tap from Noah. Trevor with the draw. Second land incoming. What is it going to be? For Mr. Trevor Dalton, it's a fetch.
What strand?
It is a fetch, and
This would be a perfect time for Trevor to just land a Ren in 6.
Honestly,
this would be a nasty, really nasty Ren in 6 here. Yeah, BJ, it is definitely a bad hand. It possibly should have gone to 5. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If Trevor can resolve a Ren, if this is okay, that's going to be an abundant on this island. Yep,
on the island.
Makes sense. Okay, well, this was the turn for Trevor to set up a Ren, and he didn't have it, so that's good for him. Noah, and he put himself in a good position here. Trevor, what does he have? You can't get rebuked this turn, so that's really good for you. If you're Trevor, I really like trying to resolve like a Teferi or something if you have one.
Absolutely.
We'll see. He has a Ren would be excellent too. Just a lot of cards, a lot of advantage.
Some cheap planeswalker, honestly.
Yep, Teferi Plus would be very good.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah, ouch indeed to no artifact for sure, BJ. Not where Noah wants to be right now. Just kind of shrugging his shoulders. Like Trevor's like, what do you have in hand? Noah's like, I don't know. No one knows full well what he has in his hand. Ooh. Oh, Trevor just put Yorion in hand.
Yorion in hand is an interesting choice, but I like it.
I do too. Trevor doesn't know if Noah has things like Mystical Dispute. Probably a little bit afraid of just tapping out. So Trevor's going to play it cautiously. He's just going to put cards in his hand. not try and walk into silly stuff that he shouldn't. So he just wants to keep hitting his land drops. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to do something? Who is going to make a play? Someone is going to make a play eventually. All right, and it looks like it might be Trevor Dalton making the first play. Spreading
seeds.
Let's kind of clear the way. Noah says, "Yeah, whatever. I don't care." But I don't need this play from Trevor. Just get some cards, cover up a red source.
Yeah.
Very patient game being played from both players. I think we're going to see this game go pretty deep. This is going to be a long one.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't expect this game to end until turn 12 or 13 or later. This is going to go quite deep. Which is great. This is how you want to end the night. I mean, this is just this has been a very good match. Our last match, we had some slop. We had some slop going on. Not this time. We got players playing really disciplined, good Magic, and that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see in the last round. You know, I'm happy to see. You know, Noah Huizenga is going to be our limited player for Larry and I this weekend. Nice. So he's the third member of our team. It's good to just see Noah playing disciplined Magic, because seeing him play disciplined in Modern, I know he's going to play disciplined and Limited too. I mean, if you play disciplined Magic in one format, you're probably going to play it in other formats too. So it's okay. Dash Ragman. Noah just trying to see what's going on over there from Trevor.
Feeling out the waters, see.
Yep, feeling out the waters, see. And Trevor's taking the damage, so Noah going to build up the mana.
Ooh, hits a Fury. Oh, that's brutal.
To be fair, Fury wouldn't have been a very good card right now because Noah's just not letting it be good. But Noah producing these treasures. I mean, Lotus Petals are good. There's a reason so many decks play Lotus Petal in Legacy. It's pretty nuts. And so just building up mana is eventually going to be really good for Noah, and he can just tap it for Rebuke. He doesn't even have to sack it. He can just tap that treasure.
Exactly.
Make Rebuke cheaper, which we know is in Noah's hands. So Noah very intelligently setting up a potentially devastating Rebuke in a couple turns. If he can get another treasure, that just means he has a 1-mana leak in his hand, essentially.
Plus, this also allows Emery to be cheaper as well, which is very notable.
Yes, exactly. He's just building up his board state. And now Trevor is trying to figure out, what do I do? Casting a Yorion.
And Rebuke. Oh.
Into Rebuke.
That is brutal.
All right, so I would classify that as blinking first. Trevor has blinked. And now Noah knows, okay, I'm going to smack you. I'm going to get another treasure. And now I can just play an Emery for 1. So now Emery's as cheap as it can be. And now Trevor has 2 very annoying threats that he needs to deal with. Trevor quickly falling into a rough spot.
Yeah.
What the heck is in this guy's hand? I don't know, BJ. I don't know, man. Not very many good cards, I guess. Very weird game.
This game is a prime example of why Noah is a good player, because he has just sat there and allowed this kind of not great hand to turn into a very, very winning board state at this point.
Yes. He's put himself in a really strong position. And now he's debating, okay, do I deploy the Emery? I would imagine he does, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to. He's okay. What is this? Oh, he's casting
the iteration.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be honest. I think this one was a little undisciplined from Noah, because now he doesn't have Rebuke up. But whatever. Oh, yes, he does, because he So
yes, he does.
He can stack a treasure for a blue and then tap.
And then tap 2.
Okay.
This is.
It was a little greedy, but he
hit
a ball.
It worked.
So it worked. I personally would have liked him to not cast it, but it ended up working out because he hit Bauble. I suppose he could have hit Amber as well if those are still in his deck. So he'd have like 8 hits that still let him play the Rebuke. But I don't know. Personally, I would have liked to see him not cast the iteration. He got a little antsy there, but it worked out. It did pay off. It was just dangerous. Noah looks to be in great position, and Trevor's got to be a little nervous. Okay, tap land pass. Yikes. Okay,
That is rough.
Bauble you, and Noah's just gonna keep drawing cards, keep hitting lands, keep trying to produce treasures. Now, I imagine what Trevor's doing here is trying to leave up like a flash in solitude, but that's just gonna get rebuked.
Yep.
And now the saga. Okay, Noah debating. What do I do? What do I do? Do I dash in monkey again? Do I want to dash in monkey? Yes, I do. Here it comes.
Yes.
Trying to monkey around. Here it comes. Noah swinging for 2. Trevor, I assume, what is this? 3 mana? Is that an endurance? It's an endurance. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But I think he only has 2 mana up here, which is not enough to pay through a rebuke, which concerns me. If I'm Trevor, I would have shocked that land in so he could pay through a rebuke.
Yeah.
I don't love this. And no debating. Okay. Do I care? Do I care about this? Do I counter this? Is this a bad counter?
I feel like it's a pretty okay counter.
Yeah, I would agree.
Trevor gave it to you. I mean,
He said I'm not going to shock myself, but all right, Noah's going to let it resolve. So Noah thinks better of it. I don't know everything that's in Noah's hand, but
I see there's an unholy heat in there, I will say.
there's a heat with no delirium. Okay, so he's just gonna.
Oh, he's got a bolt.
All right.
So he's trading. He's trading. All
Well,
right.
2 for 1. He's down a card there. I don't know. I don't know how much I like this, but there's an Emery. Okay. All right.
4 artifacts. That's
Some good artifacts there. Some good artifacts there, but I will say the rebuke. I would have cashed in the rebuke there because now we're getting to a point where Trevor's hitting enough lands where rebuke actually isn't going to be that good anymore.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate part is you only have so much time before rebuke doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. So you
And
gotta pay it off. And I bet you try. Is this a Teferi? 3 minutes Teferi would be great here. Just bounce that Emery.
Yeah.
Or maybe even better. Well, no, I think you got to bounce the Emery with all those artifacts. But you could like bounce your Seize and then seize the Saga. But I think you just want to bounce the Emery for sure.
Yeah,
That's set up.
I think that bouncing the Seas plan is just a little bit too greedy for Trevor right now because he is still in kind of a pretty disadvantageous position.
He is. And here it comes. But now what is this? Prismatic ending for 3. Okay. Well, you can't get that with rebuke, so I guess Emery's out of here.
and all of a sudden, Noah went from looking to be in a pretty good position to
It's pretty much dead even again, although he does have Saga and a couple treasures. So, and there's another Saga. Okay, and all of a sudden, things looking kind of bleak again for Trevor.
Yeah.
Still a rebuke over there, which could be good. And here's a DRC, I'd imagine. Yep, Darcy. Here it is.
Darcy.
Chandler. Yo, dude.
Hey, there's Spellbomb.
Ooh, that is very good because that can protect. That can protect. And then also just bounce Trevor's things. Again, if there's a Teferi in play, it can still interact with the board, which you gotta like.
Okay, and also Darcy is pretty close to having Delirium, so
I'm pretty sure it does. There's instant artifact land, and
if there's a land,
there's a
I wasn't sure if there was a land in there or not. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
but
I think there's a Misty Rainforest in the 3rd card. The 3rd
Yep,
card is
yes, you're right. So we have artifact, land, and then there's a bolt and a Ragavan in there. So he's definitely got Delirious.
Yeah, so we're Delirious. Yeah, BJ, I don't know what's in Trevor's hand, but I agree. I think Noah's going to win this game. He is very far ahead right now, but I mean Trevor could still get this. I mean, just like Teferi spreading seed. I mean, there are some things that can get him a win. So we'll see what happens. But I think what we're seeing happen in this game is Trevor's just getting the 5-mana creatures stuck in his hand, and he can't beat another rebuke. Okay, well now he could beat a rebuke. He can resolve a Solitude or Fury. Either would be good. I don't think it's quite over yet, BJ, but I do think Trevor is in a... Okay, so it's 5 mana for Fury. Yeah, Fury.
Yeah.
Fury, bang. target your Darcy. Now, if I'm Noah, what do I do? Do I save my Darcy? Do I not care about my Darcy? I guess you might just not care about your Darcy, and you just make a construct. I think you let the Darcy go here.
Yeah, I
You
think you let
value
the
a
Darcy
construct.
go.
Okay. And I think it's an unholy heat on the Fury. He's going to force action from Dalton here. I like this.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it's just not going to let him. You're just not going to let him have a good ephemerate, a good ephemerate target. Now, what's interesting, this construct is very large, and Noah still has Rebuke up. So, and now Noah is probably making another big idiot, I assume. But he's thinking about it. He's thinking about if he actually just wants to float mana. And he said float mana.
Float mana, all right.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that was the right thing to do, because Noah's played pretty well so far for sure. So he thinks better of it. He says, you know what? I don't need another construct. I don't think my opponent can beat this one. So I'm just gonna go get an artifact, have some mana. I'm gonna get more mana. He just wants all the mana, all the potential mana.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he could still just make a construct with his other Urza Saga, so he didn't need to force any action on that one.
Exactly.
All right, that's a ball.
Bauble.
And not only is that going to rep a card that's going to rep more damage. And there's, the Underworld Breach. And this is going to be a huge problem for Trevor. Oh,
yeah, this is insane.
That is bad news. Bad news. This construct might actually just be a lethal attacker this turn. We'll see what's happening here. Is this going to be Grinding Station?
Grinding Station.
Grinding Station. I think this is this an infinite combo? I forget how this exactly works.
I don't remember offhand. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he gets to just mill himself forever. And then exile the 3 cards that he mills. And then cast the Mishra's Bauble again. And he gets to do that until he hits Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, and then it untaps the Grinding Station, I believe, too.
Yep, exactly. So he just keeps untapping, milling himself, casting the Bauble again. And he just gets to do that until he hits the Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, BJ, I agree. Well, the problem was with Fury, there was just never really a good opportunity to put it into play. Noah just dashed Ragavan all game, so Fury didn't do anything. And that's kind of what we just saw this game come down to, is just Fury getting stuck in the 4-color player's hand. But yeah, I agree. It's probably GG at this point. Noah just going to continue doing the Grinding Station. Yeah, 3 cards. There they go. Now he gets a Amber involved as well. More mana. Yep, just gets to keep doing that.
And he makes more mana every time. And
yeah, he's explaining the loop to Trevor. He's probably going to say, I have a Thassa's Oracle. Can you beat this? Trevor says, nope.
Nope.
All right. Well.
Oh, that is so cool.
Huizenga Noah Huizenga really knowing how to play his deck, and it was good work from Noah for sure. Nice match.
Absolutely.
So 4-color pile falls to blue-red station combo. I think Noah went 4-0 on the night, but he might have only been 3-1. Either way, excellent match here. Both players played pretty well. Noah, though, comes out on top. Really, really worked his cards well in this game. It was a lot of fun to watch. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week to another Monday Night Modern here at Galactic Toys. Thank you for starting your holiday week out with us. Tomorrow, if you want to catch more action, I will be streaming Modern at 11 a.m. and I'll be streaming until 4 p.m. I do that every day. You can check that out on the same channel, The Swish Gaming. But in addition to that, we'll be doing our podcast tomorrow, Talking Swish, starting at 9 p.m., where you can listen to myself, Dewey Vu, and Larry Fields talk about all sort of Magic-related topics, sometimes other games as well, but usually Magic. And aside from that, thank you all for being here, and we will catch you next time. Thank you very much, Mason, for joining me.